Hello, everybody, and welcome to another presentation of the ECL Elite Division right here on NHL Gamer. Of course, brought to you as always by ISC Sports and Prisma Gaming. My name is Tuki, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Sin. And Sin, my friend, it all comes down to this. We started off with 16 teams. We are down to 2. The top 2 teams, call it El Clasico, call it what you will. But we're down to 2. It is a rematch, the third year running. It's HAVU Gaming and our defending champions in Linköping. HAVU taking the Season 8 title back when they were known as Written in the Stars. Linköping, of course, their phenomenal 3-1 series comeback in last year's final to take it all in Game 7. And now, Sin, again, it comes down to this. One more best-of-7 run, 15K Euro prize pool on the line, the largest prize pool in competitive 6's esports history. It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Absolutely not. And I was just going to say, this feels like a bit of deja vu. Just, a few months ago, we were right here in the same position, about to call these two teams. And little did we know it would be one of the most epic series comebacks we've ever seen. An incredible series between just two elite teams. And, well, we're going to see that once again. We don't know what's going to happen, but I have a feeling that it's going to be a bit crazy.
When it comes to these two teams, expect the unexpected has been really the mantra for both of these sides, and we saw it throughout this season as well. Neither of these teams finishing the regular season as the top dog, yet still somehow, some way, as unlikely as it was, they still end up meeting each other in the final. For Linköping, of course, second seed, starting things off in spectacular fashion, taking out Roots in 4 games. They move on and take down Färjestad in 5. The underdog story was not meant to be, despite Färjestad picking up a win in that series. And then, of course, for HAVU, they take down the German powerhouse Embrace Phantoms and survive really one hell of a series against H-Red Sin. I mean, with Linköping, we talk about the fact that Färjestad gave them a little bit of a scare, winning Game 2, almost taking Game 3. But that HAVU HAVU H-Red series, was one of the closest 5-game series that we have ever seen and probably will ever see. 4 of the 5 games going to overtime, one of those being triple overtime, and the one game to end in regulation was decided with just 4 seconds left. So it has been a bit of a rough series, a rough road to get here for HAVU, despite being 8-1 this postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the series against H-Reds could have easily gone to 6 or 7 games. I mean, oftentimes it came down to bounces and, at times H-Reds got into penalty trouble just simply at the wrong time, even though they were kind of dominating the play on ice at times. And so, unfortunate there for H-Reds, but, HAVU capitalized, and that's what it takes. Even if things aren't going your way, you got to find a way to score. You got to find a way to win. That's what champion caliber teams do. They find a way to win.
Absolutely, and you want to talk about champion caliber teams. Again, these two teams splitting the last 2 titles between them. Only one will get the bragging rights here. Of course, the first 3 games of this series being covered here in this broadcast. We will be back with you the same time tomorrow for the remainder of this series for however many games it may take. And Sin, of course, unsurprisingly, despite these two teams, neither one finishing as the top seed, they were, first or second in nearly every category in the regular season. So to really say that this was unsurprising that they're here, it would be an understatement. But you got to look at the lineups now, and it is, of course, the main 6 for each side, the 6 that you would expect to see here. As for HAVU Gaming, we have Palazzo, Dominoiti, and the captain of the team, Flyer Kungan. Now Sestelia and Villikun on defense, and Hanselinho, the face of Season 9, in goal. On the other side, of course, for Linköping, our defending champions, it's Playmaker, Patslav and Eki, J. Toro Loimo on defense, and the face of Season 10 in Kape. Let it be known, goaltenders get their proper respect here in the ECL. Now, Sin, of course, as we continue to set the stage here for Game 1, a lot to get to when it comes down to the individual breakdowns and these matchups. And as always, we're going to start things off with the battle of the centers. Dominoiti and the captain of Linköping, it's Patslav, and living up to the hype, living up to the expectations that we expect to see from arguably the 2 best centers in the Elite Division.
Yeah, I mean to play on the teams that they play on, I mean, and with the skill level they do, oftentimes, you know, when they play with such good wingers, their play can kind of go unnoticed to the untrained eye here. But both of them, absolutely fantastic two-way games. They have a, you know, the ability to win those important face-offs, and you know what, when it comes to a center, it sounds kind of, you know, controversial, but the less you notice of them sometimes, the better they're doing. You know, it's when you really are only noticing in them on the back check, making those defensive plays. I mean, they're right always where they need to be in the offensive zone, and you know, they're winning the faceoffs when they need to, as we said earlier. But I mean, the point total has been impressive for both. Obviously, Potzloff, you know, getting a bit more love there on the point side, getting to play with, you know, the leading goal scorer in playmaker. But yeah, either way, this matchup's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, winning the face-offs as well. We always look for that face-off matchup, both over 50%, of course. So it's going to be very interesting to see the battle in the face-off dot play out throughout this series. Before we move over to the battle of the wingers, though, we do, thankfully, of course, the broadcast team that we have here, we were able to get word. We do have some interviews to get to, and we're going to kick things off with the captain of HAVU. We're going to hear from Flyer Kungen in an interview conducted earlier today.
Thanks, guys. And Nick here. And of course, I'm sitting in socially distanced, rather, from thousands of miles away from none other than Flyer Kungen. Let's jump right into it, shall we? So, got a question for you here. Obviously, this is a little bit of a history. I don't want to say a little bit, actually, a lot of history between your opponents and you, of course. What are some of the expectations you have going into the series, knowing that you guys know each other extremely well?
Well, obviously, it's going to be so much fun because we have faced each other 4 times in the finals in the past, and we have won 2 times, and they have won 2 times. So it's 2-2, and now it's kind of best of 5 as a final series. But yeah, it's always extremely fun to play against those guys because I think you can challenge yourself every time, like different ways, and try to find something new, so you can play better against them. And of course, it's the same situation for them. So, and we are pretty good friends out of the ice, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, you mentioned that best of 5, obviously 2-2. You're deciding the third one here. How much more important is it to get that third win? It's kind of a little bit bigger than a normal final, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, maybe for the audience, but for the players, it's just finals among the other final series we have played. So we just want to win the finals, and that's all. We are not really thinking about how many times we have won and how many times we have lost. It's just one final series, and we are doing our best.
You mentioned finals. Obviously, you have a lot of experience playing not only in LAN tournaments, you've played in online tournaments, but you've said previously that your team does play better in online finals. What's the difference there, and why is it a little bit different and more successful for you to play online versus offline?
I have to say, I think when we are playing on LAN events, we are a better team then. That's my opinion, because the feeling is different when you are playing and sitting next to your friends, and you can have some fist bumps. Yeah. Sorry about that little lag. But yeah, like the feeling around the guys, and like playing together. That's the thing for me, and usually you play so much like in offline and your own basements, and you are not around with the guys. And when you play on LAN events and with the guys, it's something special, and you get a little more hyped about it.
Sure, and as you mentioned here, so now all of the HAVU guys are going to be playing together in the same location. So does this technically count as a LAN final for you, or how much of it being different is it going to be not having the opposing team or an audience kind of in front of you at the same time?
Well, of course, we are trying to like gain to each other's positive energy, because we are close to each other, and we're playing together. But for us, it was like more of an just idea for us to see each other for a long time, and just have fun weekend together and play some final games and finals. And I think it's going to be a great weekend.
I think it is too. I definitely agree, and I hope you guys have a blast. I hope you wish you nothing but the best of luck. Flyer, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, since you heard it there from one Flyer Kungen, the importance of the fist bumps. Again, whether or not that will play a big factor throughout this series. Time, of course, will tell. But excited to see how, again, that could affect the team. Of course, the importance of, having that little bit of extra in-person chemistry can go a long way ultimately. But also intriguing to hear from Flyer Kungen in terms of the mentality, because unsurprisingly as well, that's one of the big things we've talked about for both of these teams throughout this entire season is the mentality game, because Linköping are mentality monsters, of course, with how we've seen them, come back in finals last year's, or, in the playoffs in general, but last year's final especially, and how they came back to have such an impressive season this year. And then, of course, for HAVU, it's been all about getting to this point here, getting a chance at redemption, and really the stat line, of course, for all four of these individual players, that really speaks to that in terms of there's only one goal, and that is to win.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't matter how you get there. They may say, it's okay, we'll face whoever there is, but there's got to be that little bit of satisfaction going against the guys, who beat you last year, who came from behind and beat you. But yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, being on site together for HAVU, that's got to be, a big plus for them. I mean, it's way more fun sitting on the same, couch or in the same area with your friends playing a game than it is, strictly online. So, definitely going to be a plus here. And as we get a look at these winner matchups, it's very, very similar. Playmaker, Puanso, both kind of the goal scoring side of things. Flyer Kung and Eki. I mean, everyone here on the screen is dangerous on both of these teams, especially. But on the offensive side, these two winger pairings are just absolutely filthy.
Indeed, and Sin, with that, of course, just hearing from Flyer Kungen, the good thing is as well, we have an interview lined up with Eki, the leading scorer in this postseason thus far. Excited to see what he has to say in response. Let's take it over to Nick once more.
Thank you very much. Drew Goldfarb here, joined by Eki from Linköping HC. Eki, you specifically have won the Finnish Championship in 1v1 and 6v6. You've won the ECL, you've won the NHL Gaming World Championship, and you've won the ESHL. How do you stay motivated when you have all of those championships already under your belt? What is it that keeps you going and still trying to play your best to win another title with all of those already on your shelf?
I'm a really competitive person. I do this for I don't do anything else anymore. I don't play hockey anymore. I don't do any sports. So I love to compete, and this is where I do it. And also I'm trying to do this my job, so I kind of have to stay motivated. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
You had a semifinal series for the ages. You had 17 points in just 5 games. Now you and your offensive teammates, first, second, and third in the postseason in points. What is it about this team that seems to step up bigger as the games get bigger?
We have a lot of experience. We played together for 2 years now, so we know what we like to do on the ice. And yeah, I guess I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I guess when you've been to many finals in a row, it just comes natural. Like you focus a bit more when it's important games. So I would say that.
I mean, you just mentioned it. 3 years in a row now, the ECL championship comes down to these same two teams. How do you prepare for a series like this? Are you watching game video from this season, from the playoffs, or is it more based on the fact that you guys have played each other so many times that you can just base your preps on your previous experience?
Yeah, I got to say, I think everyone in our team knows HAVU players really good, so I think we know pretty good what we need to do, and of course we watch their games, so we're prepared.
As a forward going up against another one of the biggest offenses in the entire league, how do you balance your offensive output with your defensive duties in a matchup like this? Because it's not like, you guys are right there neck and neck in most offensive categories, especially in the playoffs.
What was the question?
How do you make sure to balance the fact that you've got to continue to be strong on offense with the defensive responsibilities that come with your position when you're competing against a team that is so good when they're in the offensive zone?
Not really sure how to answer that. We just try to score more goals than the opponent. Nothing else to say, really.
So I guess to say it a different way, do you feel like you have to be more defensively responsible in a series like this than in normal, or do you feel any pressure to be a bit, anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. I think HAVU has the most dangerous offensive trio after us, of course, in the ECL. So yeah, we have to be really careful of playing against them. But at the same time, we've played against them so many times. We kind of know what they like to do. So, but yeah, you can't lose focus, otherwise the puck is in your net.
Eki, thank you so much. Best of luck to you and your team in the championship series.
Thank you.
It's always interesting there to hear from Eki, and of course a shout out to Drew helping along with the pregame interviews. Of course, you'll be able to catch both Nick and Drew handling the pregame tomorrow. Again. Games 4 through 7, I should say. Sin, I gotta be honest here. The excitement's getting the best of me. I'm getting tongue-tied, but I can't help it because we are just a few moments away from puck drop here in Game 1. But to reiterate that point, a big thank you to Nick and Drew there. You'll still hear from them a little bit later on in this broadcast as well. Of course, you'll be hearing from them tomorrow. Now, as we get a look at the defensive matchup here, 4 of the best, Sin is the only way to describe it. Nasu and Villikun for HAVU, J. Toro and Loimu for Linköping.
Yeah, and as you can see from their numbers, I mean, points have been a bit harder to come by for the defense here, especially on the side of Linköping. Definitely the more prolific of producers in the season compared to a HAVU. And that's not to say that they can't put up points. I mean, we saw them in the regular season. I mean, Nasastelli had, 29 points, Villikun 32 points. I mean, that's good enough for 4th and 7th amongst defensemen. Yeah, especially J-Tor and Loimu, production a bit down, and that's a lot because in that Färjestad series, they really had to look out for those long stretch passes. So it's good to see how flexible, especially J-Tor and Loimu can be. Obviously known as very, very good offensively, but I don't think they get enough credit for how smart they are defensively and how skilled they are, on that back end. And they're going to need to bring all of that to the table today against HAVU.
Absolutely. And with that, we move things over to the goaltending matchup as well. The face of Season 9, it's Hans Celinho for HAVU Gaming, going up against the face of Season 10. Again, goaltenders get their respect in the ECL. It's Kape for Linköping. And Sin for Kape, the thing, of course, that stands out is one bad game can really sort of skew your stats in the postseason when you've played just 9 games. And that really is the story for Kape. One bad game against Färjestad in that second round matchup, really dropping the save percentage a little bit. But all things considered, still very impressive numbers for both of these two, as you would expect.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, with the lower save percentage, you got to remember Kape still has 3 shutouts. So yeah, you mentioned it, like one of those bad games, and that was kind of what Färjestad did. They didn't get a whole lot of chances, but for some reason they would get those A+ chances and find ways to score right here. But definitely don't look at the stats and think we don't have an even matchup on our hands. These are 2 of the best goaltenders in ECL Elite and probably even the world. I mean, Hans Celinho Kape, I mean, just one of the biggest parts of El Clasico. If one of these guys has himself one of those big games, I mean, they could steal one for their team, and I'm sure both teams are counting on that. They're probably going to need that at some point. In a 7-game series, you're going to need your goalie to stand on his head in one of those matchups.
Absolutely. So, Sim, with that, again, moments away from puck drop. Game 1 of the ECL Elite Final, this best of 7. Again, the largest prize pool in competitive 6's history on the line, 15k euros. Comes out to about 16,000 US. Got to admit, a little bit jealous. That said, we move things over to the keys to success. We're going to kick things off, of course, with HAVU. And first point here, keep your discipline. They are known for having a very aggressive forechecking style, which can result in penalties taken at times. 9th most penalty minutes in the regular season. However, in this postseason through 9 games, just 2 penalties taken total. If they can keep up that tremendous disciplinary track record while continuing to play that heavy pressure style that they're known for, it's tough to see how they don't get back to the top of the mountain. Second point here, casting a shadow. The left wingers lead the scoring for the two teams. Of course, playmaker for LHC leads the postseason with 16 goals. Powanzo, though, for HAVU is right behind him with 13, and that's been really the story all season long, is playmaker overshadowing his direct competition. This is a tremendous chance for Powanzo to continue to prove that he is amongst the elite of the elite while the lights are at their brightest. And then, of course, we already talked about the defenseman. We need to see a return to form here in terms of the offensive consistency. Now, Sostelia, 7th amongst defenders in points in the regular season. Billikun was 4th, and they have just a combined 8 points this postseason. Billikun led all defensemen in the regular season with 11 goals. He only has 1. Now, the road has been much more defensive compared to LHC's from now, or, up to this point. But from now on, it's time for them to get back to their offensive form and prove that they are the two-way threats that they had been all season long. Sin for Linköping. What are the 3 points here, as we, again, will be covering the first 3 games of this series? What's the key for Linköping, and the keys, I should say, for them to get off to a good start in this series?
Well, the first one here we got is they need to weather the storm. I mean, we talked about it earlier. We heard it in the interviews. These two teams have a, very long history facing off against each other in the finals here. HAVU Gaming had back-to-back titles in their grasp, just 1 win away. And Linköping stormed back and won 3 straight to take that away from them. They've been on a mission this entire season to come back, get their revenge, and make a statement. It'll be about sticking to the game plan, and especially for Linköping, you got to make the most of your chances here. Which brings us to the next point here. It's flipping the script. We talked about the season series, a little bit earlier. Like, while the team splitting the games wasn't necessarily surprising, it was the team with the physical edge that really jumped out. It was Linköping who out-hit HAVU 35-14. Now, that's not normal. Linköping, definitely one of the lowest hitters in the season, 14th place, and HAVU definitely known as the more physical team, but it seems like Linköping, able to adjust and kind of play the way they need to play, especially against HAVU. We might just see that sort of aggressive play coming out from Linköping, especially on the forecheck. I've said it, a variety of times when we've covered Linköping. They are a much better team when they get aggressive on the forecheck and don't sit back, especially in the beginning of the games. And the third and final point here is face to face. We talked about it when they were matching up here. The face of season 9, Hanselinho, against the face of season 10 in Kape. All eyes have to be on Kape right now. He's got the lower of the stats. Everyone looks to the stats first. We know that if they didn't keep up, the eye test, it's just stats can be blinding at times. He was, slightly behind, not only, in the playoffs here, but also in the season. So this is a great chance to find out which one of these guys is the better of the two.
Sin, we are just moments away from puck drop here. I believe we may have a live look here at the HAVU. Of NHL 6's esports. Sin, what's it gonna be here? What are we gonna see? The first 10 minutes, is it gonna be the feeling out process? What is the key really for both sides? I don't even know how to set the stage for you here. We've been looking forward to this all year. Everyone called their shot and said this rematch was happening, and now here we are.
Yeah, well, I think, honestly, for both of these teams, I think they both need to get out aggressive. And that maybe my own personal bias talking, and I want to see some excitement early on. They may take it a bit slow, but look to HAVU to maybe even gain that early advantage. They're all on site together. You can feel that energy when you're together with the boys, so we'll see what they do here early on.
HAVU in the white, Linköping in the blue and red. Puck drop. This game is underway. We're going to see who's able to take advantage of it in the early stages. Chance here early on for HAVU. Flyer Kunken able to find a little bit of space. Still working for it down low. Pass to Powanzo. Has a couple of options. Takes the hit, though. Unable to make the play. Again, we'll make the call for Linköping as best we can without the colors there on the other side. We'll try to get that adjusted for future games. Quick shot on. Hanselinho able to make an early stop. And interesting from Linköping to see them test Hanselinho from really an off angle that you wouldn't often expect a shot from. These two teams, of course, know each other so well the third straight final in the ECL between these two teams. Each team winning a series. Chance here, though, down the left-hand side. Sauce pass in front, just doesn't go. Great job by Villikun to cut that one out. So, again, in the familiarity factor with these two teams, wouldn't be surprised to see them try different angles, try unorthodox options to try and create opportunities.
Absolutely, and offsides here, unfortunately, for HAVU. But yeah, we kind of saw that in the beginning. Linköping, not super known for trying those slap passes, especially, you know, against a team as good as of HAVU. They kind of, you know, start doing that stuff when they, you know, kind of start stunting a bit at the end of a game that they're really winning on, trying to get everyone on the board. But I like to see that early on, the creativity. You can tell how much these teams want it. We're going to see their bag of tricks on full display throughout this series.
Now, there was that early offside for HAVU that's been kind of a, you know, an inconsistent factor for them, as, again, we see another offside call for them. So we've seen that develop throughout the postseason. They have had trouble staying onside at times, which is extremely uncharacteristic for them.
Yeah, and, you know, I think what's more uncharacteristic is that at times they haven't seemed to want to adjust and try other looks. They really seem to want to gain the blue line with a clean entry. And Linköping, you know, they've probably caught on to that. They've probably studied them, and we can see their blue line stand right now working out very well for them.
Indeed, in possession here now. We're going to see if they can work their way into the zone. And an offside in response there for Linköping. So, Sid, no real surprise here through the first 8 or 9 minutes or so to see both of these teams really kind of, you know, battling between the blue lines as we expected.
Yeah, defensively responsible, really careful, not letting any man get around their trap game, and dangerous play right there, but fortunately, Linköping able to come up with that.
Not able to do anything in response, though. HAVU back in possession, so a slow opening 9.5 minutes here. Big stretch pass, finds Flyer Kungen. Good defense there to help out. This puck kicked back to the neutral zone yet again. So right now, of course, Linköping with the lone shot on goal, although Villikun able to help work his way through on the offhand. Chance here for Nasu. Has a couple of options, sends it down low, gets it back at the point. D-to-D pass. Villikun will send it down low into the corner as well. You see the heavy collapse from Linköping, and a chance here on the breakaway. Sends it over, and he scores, but it's being waved off for goaltender interference. We'll get another look at this one.
Oh, it looks like his leg just barely clips the goaltender. I think that was Eki there driving the net and passed it over. Yes, it's going to be called off. I mean, kind of controversial, but he did make contact with the goaltender. They can't be happy about that, though. What a play by Linköping, and unfortunately, it doesn't count.
Tough break indeed. Now Sestelia dropped back to try and help out on that play as much as he could. The speed just too much to try and overcome. But a controversial call sees this game still deadlocked. No goals for either side, depending on who you ask. But hey, the scoreboard doesn't lie. HAVU back in possession, trying to work their way through. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there or a mistake. Call it what you will, but Linköping back in possession. Slap shot deflects. Still in possession. Shot rebound is there. He tucks it home. I'm assuming it's Potslav. That's where he normally sets up. And Linköping get the goal back that they perhaps deserved. And Sin, you know what? I made the mistake because when it's Linköping, you can assume it's Potslav, but oftentimes it's probably Playmaker. That's more of a safe bet, and indeed Playmaker scores yet again.
Yep, goal scorer's gonna score, and, you know, Playmaker going to the front of the net. That's a pretty good place to go if you want to score a goal, and you know what? Sometimes the puck doesn't lie. A disallowed goal, but they get that one right back there. Great shot, good rebound kick for Playmaker, who buries it. Not much Hans Selino could do on that play. 1-0 for Linköping.
His 17th goal of this postseason, a record-breaking regular season, and continuing the pace here in the postseason. Again, 58 goals in 30 games for Playmaker in the regular season. One-time shot fired just wide. Good chance there for Villikun. Again, the leading scorer amongst defensemen in the regular season. We talked about that for HAVU. Not the most offensive or the highest offensive output for their two defensemen through the postseason thus far. But we'll see if they're able to get, you know, those two going offensively, of course, as both teams really do rely so heavily on the offensive output from their defensemen. Final 2 minutes of play here in the first period. This one self-sauced down and recovered. Great puck movement. Shot. Rebound not there. Flyer Kungen able to take that one away. Quick final minute. The captain tries to work it over the line there for HAVU. Going to regather along the half wall. Has a couple of options. Throws it on deflection. Scores! It's Poanso The battle of the left wingers continues. Anything you can do, perhaps Polanco could do better.
And you know what started that play? Flyer Kungen, perhaps one of the most dangerous players on the forecheck, forces the turnover, gets the shot on net, and you said it, Polanco with the beautiful deflection. Kape, good positioning, but I mean, when a puck is deflected like that, there's not much you can do. You can see the reaction right there from HAVU, celebrating with the boys,
smiles,
but not looking too excited yet. You know they got a long road ahead of them.
All smiles from the HAVU boys. A late goal here in the first period ties this one up. A little bit of time to work with here as Linköping back in possession. Playmaker drops it down low, thrown back in front, out of the point. Shot, save, rebounds there, nobody home. And HAVU will survive a late scare. 0.3 to go. Bring us to the end of the first period. So, Sin, we talked about it, the controversial waved off goal. Playmaker able to get that opening goal for Linköping, but HAVU well done in response. Polanco getting his 14th goal of the playoffs. Of course, the top 2 goal scorers through the postseason thus far, continuing right where they left off.
Yeah, and it's, we can talk about the disallowed goal all we want, but the fact is, all the score that matters is the scoreboard, and, it was a good response for HAVU there. I mean, the pressure was on them. Linköping, what they got to do now is, we talk about their mental game as, they seem like such mental giants at times, but the way they play can be different from the way they feel. I mean, we did know a couple times in interviews right there that they were worried in that Game 3 versus Färjestad when they were down by 2 goals and nothing seemed to be going their way. So, if it doesn't show on the ice, you got to think that they might still be a bit frustrated from that. We'll see how they're able to channel that sort of frustration into some positive play from them in this next period here. But yeah, that's got to hurt. 1 shot from HAVU, 1 goal. But it's all right. Linköping, I still like the way they play. They've still got a chance, and it looks like we will get the player colors going on right now, so that'll help out a lot.
Here's hoping. HAVU 1 goal on 1 shot. The deflection bid from Polanco. Able to tie this one up. Again, we thank you very much for joining us here. Game 1 of the ECL final. The largest prize pool in competitive 6's esports history. A nice little 15k euros on the line. And right now, second period underway. Excited to see how this one pans out. Opening face-off goes to HAVU. We'll see again what these two teams are able to do. The back and forth action, tit for tat, normal, the normal way, normal turn of events, the normal way that things tend to play out when these two teams go head to head. And as we talked about, the 3rd straight final between these two. But Sin, there you see it again, another offside for HAVU. The miscommunication between them right now is honestly stunning.
A little bit, yeah, and that was Dominointi really trying to, get the step right there as Villikun was carrying it. Maybe thought a pass was coming, but the lanes were pretty well guarded by Linköping. And again, I'm sort of wondering when they're going to start area saucing or dumping it.
Becky has it down low, has a couple of options here as he wins possession back. D-to-D pass at the point, again sent back down low. Potzloff now has it. See what Playmaker's able to do. Throws it in front, quick shot, doesn't go through. Eki able to recover now. Linköping, good zone time here. HAVU trying to survive. Trouble there from Dominointi, not able to clear it out. Shot from the point, blocked down. Well done there by Nasostelio to get into the lane. HAVU right now again, really facing, getting a taste of their own medicine here. Of course, Linköping, I don't want to say not capable of getting that offensive pressure going. We've seen what they've been able to do in the past when these two teams have played, able to turn up the physicality and really respond to HAVU's own game plan as that chance goes in front again. Polanco nearly able to find it on the short side. A couple of quick passes here. D-to-D trying to find the space. Nasu shot deflection bid was there from Dominointi. Just not able to get a piece of it. Linköping, though, turn it over. Polanco struggling. Still working for it, though. Puck over to the half wall. Chop back to the point. HAVU still in possession. D-to-D pass, and unfortunately there, this wasn't the right play at the time. Villikun not able to hold on to it, but he is able to recover possession back against Playmaker easily. Easier said than done. Not an easy job to pull that one off. Chance here for Nasu, able to gain the zone, but again, another quick turnover. Here comes Eki down the other way for Linköping. Triple coverage there, not able to hold on to it. And a chance now again for HAVU going back down the other way. They find the space up the middle for Dominointi. Great job by Jay Toro to take that one away. Recovered at the point now for HAVU. Chance down low in the corner, around the back. Maybe looked for that quick wrap chance for Flyer Kungan, just didn't go. And a good interception here by Polanco for HAVU. 9 minutes remaining now here in the second period of game one. Asistelia looking for a little bit of space. Again, can't find the timing at the line. Sin, you want to talk about easier said than done, breaking down that blue line trap for Linköping.
Yeah, and both of these teams really, but Linköping has had an easier job entering so far.
Shot blocked. You'd never know when he decides to put the puck on goal what's going to happen. Linköping, a little bit of zone time here in response. Great puck movement. Couple of options here for Eki as he cycles back to the point. J. Toro down low, again back in front. Eki still fighting for it. Billy Kuhn able to come up with it. Now 6 minutes to go. Flyer Kungan's going to send this one down the chop, but icing is still called. Polanco can't get to that one.
Yeah, close call right there, and a good look from HAVU. I mean, it's why not take that chance, although the faceoff does go back into their end due to the icing.
Big time face-off here, Dominoiti and Potzloff, and Dominoiti wins again. The battle of the dot going to be crucial throughout this series. Both centermen, solid face-off win percentages throughout the regular season and here in the postseason as well. 4.5 to go here. Linköping, good puck movement. Dangerous, though, trying to weave their way through the traffic. HAVU back in possession. Big stretch pass. Dominoiti, bit of space, shot. Kape able to find it and cover it. Dangerous opportunity there, though. Good job from Kape again, trying to get a little bit of momentum going after allowing a goal on the only shot he faced in the first period.
Yeah, and very good. And well played by Loimu, taking away the pass, allowing Kape to really square up to the shot right there.
Loose puck up for grabs here. Flyer Kungan not able to hold on to it, so Linköping in possession. Here's Playmaker along the off wing, and Linköping unable to hold on to it. Here's HAVU now. A little bit of space to the neutral zone, sauced in. Polanco not going to be able to chase that one down. J. Toro able to handle it, and here come Linköping yet again. Big stretch pass into open space, mistimed, and it'll be an icing going down the other way now. A big face-off for Dominoiti coming up in the offensive zone.
And you can see just how hard it is to gain the line for both of these teams. Icing's happening, offsides happening. Both these teams very strong defensively and putting an emphasis on it thus far.
Clean win for HAVU, deflection bid, kick back out to the point. Nasu for Billy Kuhn in the back again. Good puck movement, good cycle here from HAVU. Billy Kuhn looking, goes back down into the corner, gets the puck back again. Final minute of play. One-timer from Flyer Kungan, a bit far out, doesn't find its way through. Here comes Zeki now. A little bit of trouble. HAVU back in possession. 6 seconds to play. Billy Kuhn looking for space. Nasistelia picks it up. Here's Dominoiti, throws it in front. Linköping will hold on and survive. So Sin, as close as we anticipated. We're tied at 1 heading into the third period.
Yeah, and it's as close as it gets, really. I mean, both these teams trying to make the most of their offense, but you can see the defensive game, especially from Linköping in at that last shift. I mean, just looking, if you were watching, Eki and Playmaker, they kept going down into, block shot animation or the L1 constantly. They don't want to let any easy shots get through because that can create deflections, rebounds. I mean, they're really, really defensive of their net. And if you take a look at that, HAVU still only with 1 registered shot, despite that 2-on-1 right there. The chance that happened, it didn't actually count as a registered shot. It was sitting very dangerously close to the goal line, actually, as Kape was able to cover it as well. But, and again, I don't actually think Linköping got a registered shot either. I think they're still at 4 shots. So pretty crazy to see, actually, through first 2 periods of action, just how hard it is for either team to really get a lot of chances.
You perhaps expect those low shot totals, but still stunning when you talk about the offensive capabilities of these two teams to see the score line where it is, and in particular, of course, seeing the shot totals at where they are. Third period underway in game 1 of the ECL Elite Division Final. We thank you very much for joining us here. These two teams battling in the final for the 3rd straight year. HAVU winning it under a different banner 2 years ago. Linköping taking it in a dramatic 3-1 comeback victory. Game 7. Coming back from 3 games to 1 down to win the crown. It's the matchup we were all hoping for, and it's the matchup that we're getting in Game 1 right now. The feeling out process certainly underway. The familiarity between these two teams constantly creating different looks. See HAVU right now taking their time. They actually gain the line there off of that pass to Dominoiti. He'll send it down low. Loose puck in front. Scramble for it. Still fought on for. Polanco has it down low. Back to Billy Kuhn. The shot blocked. Polanco recovers in the corner here. Tries to throw it in front. A little bit of miscommunication there, but great job here by HAVU to hold on to it. D passes, trying to open up space, rifled wide by Nasistelia. Recovered again, though, by Dominoiti. HAVU still on the attack. Down low in the corner, a little bit of trouble there for Flyer Kungan. Jay Toro defended extremely well. Tall task for him to have to try and fend off a relentless forecheck shot, just deflected wide. Playmaker had plenty of time to shoot. Again, the record-breaking goal scorer of Linköping, the purple or pink icon, call it what you will. You don't want to give him the opportunity and that much space. Down low here, the battle of the wingers again. Puwanzo had the chance on the near post, just not able to find the space. A little bit more end-to-end action opening up here throughout this third period. HAVU back in possession right now. Sin, it just feels like out of nowhere there's going to be the tie-breaking goal, and it could hold up as the winner. HAVU gained the zone. Dominoiti along the half wall, down low for Flyer Kungan. Quick pass in front. Chance can't get through the traffic. Good opportunity again for Billy Kuhn. And Sin, as we perhaps predicted here, the defense certainly much more involved for HAVU, getting plenty of open looks. Although here's Linköping again back on the attack. Potzloff able to throw one on the backhand. Linköping recover yet again. Jay Toro now Loimu, D again. Deflection bit in front. Loose puck recovered. Potzloff is denied on the doorstep. Great save there from Hanselinho.
Yeah, and a good look from the defense to get that shot through. It doesn't go all the way through, but Potzloff gets a whack at it and was going for a second one before Hanselinho put the mitt on it and killed the play.
Face-offs tied at 7 apiece. Loose puck is going to be recovered, but back in the neutral zone for Linköping. Face-off battle as close as anticipated as well. This matchup, again, living up to the hype in terms of just how well balanced and evenly matched these two teams are. This puck sent all the way down. It'll be an icing call with just under 7 minutes to go here in regulation, here in game one of this rematch of the finals. And another big face-off coming up here.
Yeah, if Potzloff can win this, Linköping sustaining more zone time right now would be huge. But Dominoiti, another huge defensive zone win. He's come up with a few of them in this game that's really helped relieve the pressure for his team.
Clean wins at that. Here comes Potzloff, the captain. The spin move back to try and find Jay Toro. Playmaker can't get the shot on, and a chance now on the rush. Flyer Kungan has no help with him. Great job in protection here, though, the bide time. D. Sestelia now down in the corner, and around the back of the net they go. Flyer Kungan not able to hold on to it. Another great defensive effort there from Jay Toro. Now here's Eki for Linköping. He's bumped off the puck at the line. It'll be another offside call here as time continues to wind down in the third period.
Yeah, and that was a good move by Eki to try to protect the puck with the L2 skating, but unfortunately, as he got bumped, he did lose the puck, and that actually stayed on the other side of the blue line, which put everyone offside. But that could have been a good enter. He had a drop pass for Playmaker if he so chose, and Playmaker had about a half step on his check as well, so could have been a good little chance for Linköping, but a good hold at the blue line for HAVU Gaming. As we get another look at those chances from Potzloff right there, as he kind of stole the puck away from the HAVU defender who was trying to corral it and possibly move the puck out on the breakout.
Listen, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first shot since the first period, at least the first registered shot. Playmaker throws one on, loose puck, and Potzloff just couldn't tip it home. Still fought on for. Hanselinho was there and able to make the cover. So scary moments here for HAVU. Still just one registered shot, and Linköping threatening, knocking at the door late here in the third.
Yep, they're really going for the front of the net, trying to get those blue-collar hockey goals, anything to get the advantage.
They recover the puck here. Eki able to get it over to Potzloff. Deflection bid in front, does not go. Good opportunity yet again here for Linköping. Back in on the attack. Eki has it down low now. Playmaker, couple of options. Shot, rebound was there, but Potzloff just not able to get the most of it. Or the best of it, really. Call it what you will. Final 2 minutes here of regulation. Linköping threatening. HAVU need to get registered shots on goal. Still rocking a 100% shooting percentage in this game. That's only because they have one registered shot up to this point. Final minute of play here. Billy Kuhn tries to dance his way through. The puck deflects and into the zone. Flyer Kuhn going to try to chase that one down, but again, handled well by Jay Toro. A little bit of perhaps a technical issue here on my side. We'll continue to try and call this as best we can. Playmaker was over the line. HAVU back in possession yet again as we approach the final 30 seconds of regulation. Dominoiti finds Puwanzo, but the traffic is there. Tremendous display by Linköping since throughout this first game in terms of shutting down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. HAVU want those clean entries, and Linköping simply aren't giving it to him a lot of the time. There's a good one there.
Dominointi, though, the pass was off the mark. Chance here on the rush for Linköping. Eki, a little bit of space to work with. Shot on, handled perfectly by Hans Solinho, but Sin, what a moment here. This face-off, the biggest of the game.
Absolutely, and Dominointi's done a great job in the dot so far in the defensive zone. Potzloff, it's time for him to come up huge and see a set play from Linköping. Oh,
both centers jump, and Dominointi's able to win it. Scary moment there. Sin with that. It sets the tone. Why not? We go to overtime in game 1. Now, these two teams did go to overtime throughout the regular season. Actually, both games going to overtime, but both OTs lasted less than 80 in-game seconds. Easy for me to say. So there could very well be a quick winner on deck.
definitely. And that is, I've just got to go back to that face-off play there. Potzloff had it. He had the world. Dominointi jumped on the face-off, and unfortunately, sometimes you see the other guy move, your finger kind of slips as well. Potzloff jumped, and then Dominointi got the advantage there on the face-off, was able to win one more huge defensive zone draw for his team to not allow Linköping to get one more chance, and we've seen it. Linköping has some filthy set plays off the face-off in the offensive zone, but yeah, you can see it's still only that one registered shot from HAVU, so you got to appreciate what Linköping's doing, but HAVU is getting zone time. They are looking at chances. There have been blocked shots from Linköping, but you can see the kind of difference that they're going with as we're seeing a quit right here. Not too sure exactly what's going on, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Due to the packet loss there, we are going to experience a reset. So what these two teams, of course, are going to do, they're going to get rematched up here. Hopefully that clears up the packet loss. And then, of course, from there, pretty straightforward. Next goal wins. That'll be the overtime. They, reset from there, and game 2 will be underway. So an interesting call that both teams are, I do suppose, allowed to make. We'll see whether or not, of course, there is a different ruling. But as far as we know here, both teams, good to go in terms of just restarting that and having that, return matchup simply be the setup there. So not a rage quit by definition, I would presume. But hey, you never know. If there was ever going to be a series where there'd be the first time to see something like that, it would be between these two teams. Now, of course, since something else to note as well, of course, player type changes not allowed at that particular time as well. Not that we'd expect to see a player type change from these, from anybody on either of these two teams. Of course, we've seen it throughout the, coverage of the league that we've been involved in. These two teams stick to the game plan. And just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, then, hey, maybe make adjustments heading in to a different season. But pretty much finely tuned, well-crafted player types and strategies amongst these two teams. But, of course, talking about it through the majority of Game 1 thus far, again, still just the one registered shot for HAVU. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here upon this restart where, again, next goal wins it and takes Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I liked what Linköping's going for. They're going for a lot of those kind of gritty goals. I mean, they were trying for the more, set plays, the kind of more pass-based one-timer stuff earlier on, and then, HAVU just wasn't giving it to him anymore. So Linköping made that adjustment, start throwing pucks on net, started getting a lot more rebound chances, Potzloff in the front, everyone kind of getting to work around the front of the net. And the two goals we've seen scored in this game were exactly like that, a deflection for HAVU and a rebound goal for Linköping. So it's curious to see Linköping really, kind of recognizing that and going for that. And HAVU still not so much, still preferring to go for that down low cycle. And it looks to me, at least so far, Linköping, the more, I guess you say, bias to like making the switches, making the adjustments that they need to make. I could not for the life of me think of the proper word right there, so bear with me. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like they're much more willing to make those adjustments right there than HAVU.
Absolutely. So with that, of course, very intrigued to see how this one plays out upon the restart here. Now, again, a friendly reminder, we're covering games 1 through 3 of this finals here in this broadcast. We will be back tomorrow as well, same time, 20 CEST. That would be 2 p.m. Eastern for games 4 up to potentially 7, which would not be surprising, of course. And again, a friendly reminder as well, in the immediate aftermath of the coverage of that series, NHL Gamer proudly presents the Elite Finals official after party. We'll be treated to a special 1-hour B2B back-to-back set by Luxonia featuring artists Nikki B and Sam Light, who I am going to have to get caught up on before said cast. The party will kick off Saturday on our official Twitch channel right here after the finals. So again, a friendly reminder for that as well. So of course, still plenty to come here as the finals well underway. And again, Sim, we are just moments away from getting back to this particular matchup for this first game. Again, perhaps the controversial restart with packet loss, but again, as far as I know, the coverage will simply be the restart. It's the overtime. First goal wins, and we'll see what happens. But in terms of what goes down here and what's going to go down and how this is played out, Sin, I mean, if you had to bet, more than likely, I mean, it does seem like Linköping seem to be the more likely to score at this point, but we've seen that from HAVU on plenty of occasions where it's like, oh, okay, it's not looking too likely. They have the ability to pull a goal out of the hat at any possible moment.
Absolutely. I mean, they did it to H-Reds numerous times when, especially in games that H-Reds seemed to have the advantage for a lot of it. And, HAVU, as we heard in interviews, past that, they were not happy with how they played some of those. But the fact of the matter is they capitalized when it mattered. They got those game winners when it mattered right there. And this is going to be a big overtime, especially, with the reset. And how big is that disallowed goal looking right now, too? I mean, you held HAVU to just one shot. They only got one goal. And unfortunately, that disallowed goal, it just... Man, especially if Linköping end up dropping this one in OT, that one's going to look really, really big. But the fact of the matter is they can't worry about that. Linköping, I think they got to keep playing how they're playing. Hold their blue line. It seems like HAVU wants to do the same thing over and over again. So hold your blue line, look to counterattack. And when you get it in the zone, forecheck HAVU. They're a strong forechecking team themselves. And if you're Linköping, you got to throw their game right back at them here.
Again, puck protection is going to be crucial, I would say, with both of these teams having that ability, Sid, as you mentioned, to really put on that overbearing forecheck. Going to be very intrigued to see here as well what this restart does for Kape, for Linköping's goaltender here. Again, facing just one registered shot, it goes in. Maybe not the way you would have, obviously not the way you would have wanted to start things off here, but when you're a goaltender, of course, there is always the question of, to certain goaltenders, who thrives a little bit more under facing more shots as opposed to, again, not having those registered shots, not having to worry about rebounds, and really being able to get into the groove as far as, finding that consistency in goal. It can be a little bit tough, but on the flip side, of course, if you're a goaltender, the argument is, hey, you're making my job easy, of course, and it's a great defensive display from Linköping that's led to this because, of course, we've seen them, their ability to shut down the blue line, but also both of these teams collapse so hard that it's tough to find the space, which is why you see so many near post attempts, neutralized, which is a really, predominant go-to for both of these teams. But the neutral zone game as well, and it's one of those things that we've talked about a lot, that, the European style, especially amongst the top teams, you often won't see the dump and chase, which you see a little bit more frequently on the North American side of things. The European style is definitely more just hold on to the puck and eventually just keep trying to find that breakthrough. So I'm going to be intrigued, of course, to see if the strategy changes as this series continues to progress.
Yeah, well, I think it's an absolutely viable strategy, maybe coming from more the biased, NA side of things, but it's an incredibly viable strategy, especially if you have, a winger up front with a bit more speed. He can get in there and, if you don't want to risk the check against the boards, you can, go for hit checks, and those can be very effective. Not even if you don't completely, knock them down, you can move them off the puck and actually get body position with that. And with some of the builds up front that they're using, very good puck possession style. That seems to be the case with Europe. I think if they sort of combine the two of them, made a hybrid, of dumping and chasing when you need it, it could be very effective. But again, sometimes you don't want to quite step out of your comfort zone, especially so early on into a series. You have a set plan that you want to roll with. It seems to be working, especially for Linköping. They're getting the right, they're getting the stats, they're getting the chances, they've got more shots. But at this point, all you need is one goal here, and we'll see what will happen in this overtime when we are able to get underway.
Now, Sim, we do have an update at least. The two teams are searching, so puck drop here for the overtime of Game 1 will be just a few moments away. So, very intrigued, of course, to see how this one plays out. Games 2 and 3 coming up as well in this broadcast. Again, we will be back tomorrow for the remainder of this series. Games 4 through potentially 7, of course. How these first 3 games go, very much going to dictate how the remainder of this series plays out tomorrow. So, very intrigued. Again, puck drop just a few moments away. The two teams, of course, when they have gone to overtime in the regular season, very quick game winners. So, of course, the face-off could be crucial. And that face-off battle has been fairly consistent when it comes to just being evenly matched. Now, Sin, here we go. We are just about ready to kick things off. What do you think? Do you have a prediction? Excited to see how this one will go.
Prediction between these two teams, I mean, nothing is really predictable. I think, Linköping looked like the better team throughout it, but with the reset, everything different. HAVU's had a chance to talk. They're all on site together. I don't know who's going to come up with a game winner, but either way, this is a pivotal moment for this series. You get that first win of the series, you're feeling good.
Absolutely. So again, overtime underway. Shout out to our producer for being able to get that scoreboard there corrected for you. Next goal wins, and we'll see a restart upon that next goal, or immediately after the restart there, due to connectivity issues. So we'll see how this one plays out. Linköping back in possession. Playmaker looking for that bit of space. Defended very well there by Villikun, but he's not able to find the follow-up pass through the neutral zone. Going to be intrigued again to see what will happen here. HAVU just with the one registered shot through the 3 periods of this game. Flyer Kungan down low in the corner has a couple of options. Villikun has options of his own, goes back down low. Slap shot doesn't find its way through the traffic. Loose puck. Kape is able to make the save. It didn't initially find its way through, but eventually trickles its way towards the net. Kape able to make the stop, though.
Yeah, scary moment for a goaltender when you know where the puck is, but your guy just won't seem to grab it, and there's bodies in front of you trying to take whacks at it.
Face off one, loose puck. Flyer Kungan had a shot. Is not able to get it on target. Covered by Dominointi. D-to-D! Blocked down in front. Great job there by the defense of Linköping as they'll drop it back for a controlled breakout. Great puck movement here on display by the defending champions. Scramble forward along the half wall. HAVU able to come up with it. You saw Playmaker step up there trying to force those turnovers. HAVU not often finding themselves on the receiving end of that consistent of a forechecking pressure from the other side. Still in possession here. Dominointi has it along the half wall. Looking for options. It's Flyer Kungan down low. Jay Toro again. Excellent defense on display from him. Here's Playmaker. Has some room to work with, but Villikun shuts down the attack in response. Great job there. Puck down low and behind the back. Chance here again recovered. See what happens. Villikun looking for space. Has to drop it back yet again. No dump and chase attempt here. They're looking for the space and they find it. Villikun deflects. Puck in front. Shot saved by Kape. His most difficult look of this game thus far. But he's able to make the save and keep this game going.
Yeah, great vision there to hit the man in front. That was Puanzo streaking across the net diagonally, trying to get Kape overcommitting there. Just didn't happen, but really good look for HAVU here, and I've really liked the way they've looked so far in this OD. Linköping seem the one kind of behind the 8 ball right now, unable, and that could be bad. A collision.
Bit of a collision there. Puanzo, bit of space. Shot blocker save again by Kape. HAVU getting some momentum going. Back to the point now. It's Nasu. Gets another quick pass. D-to-D. Shot on. Doesn't find its way through. Or if it did, it was handled extremely well by Kape there. 8.5 to go in OT1 between these two teams here in Game 1 of the Elite Final. Linköping hanging around the zone, trying to force these turnovers, but HAVU, good puck protection thus far. The discipline game also on point for both teams. Nasistelia gains the zone, nowhere to go. Handled well there by Loimu of Linköping, and again, they'll set up for that controlled breakout. 6.5 remaining here. Potzloff, it finds its way to Playmaker. Can't get the pass to Eki, but Linköping still fighting for it. Recovered and sent down around behind HAVU's goal. Couple more quick passes here, trying to fend off that pressure. Stelia tries to work his way through the neutral zone. Dominointi able to find the space, recovered though by Playmaker. And we'll see if he can find the pass to Eki. He does. Eki shrugs off the hit, sauces it across, but Potzloff couldn't get a piece of it. Still in the zone now. Chance here. Jay Toro looked for that deflection in front for Eki. Couldn't get it on target. Loose puck. Playmaker swings and misses. Huge chance there. Eki for a Loimu shot off the skate of Playmaker. Doesn't find its way. Jay Toro still has it here for Linköping. Circling around. Flyer Kungen able to win it back. Polanco, the toe drag doesn't go. Loose puck up for grabs. Playmaker's able to recover, but he's offside with 2:19 to go.
Wow, Linköping right there with a flurry of chances and excellent pressure in the zone. Being able to get to those loose pucks is huge. Weirdly, no registered shots on that play. I mean, they had so many chances, just blocks and just not quite getting through right there. And right now, it's HAVU being the ones who are able to get the shots on net, and Linköping sort of struggling.
Still a long way to go, perhaps, in this one, Sin. We talked about the quick winners in the regular season between these two teams in overtime. And here we are winding down here. OT1 could be the first of many. We'll see how this one goes. As a factor here, the double timeout, something that would not have happened had it not been for the restart set.
Yeah, you're right, actually. So that's a good point to make. Both teams kind of refreshing their stamina bars here. So we might see this this game open up just a little bit more here with a bit, the bit more starting stamina. It's been, I wouldn't say quiet, but very much more, zone-based times. We're getting another look at just how close that one was for going in, sitting behind Kape there, and just unable to poke it past HAVU.
Big face-off here, tie up. Linköping come up with possession. Loimu tries to find an option, has Potzloff. Now it's Jay Toro along the point. Back down to the Potzloff. Great block there by Dominointi, winning the battle of the two centers. Good stick contact there from Loimu, able to knock it loose. Linköping back in possession as Eki tries to chase this one down. It's recovered by the captain, Flyer Kungen. Again, a fast minute here in overtime due to the restart. One chance for HAVU. We could perhaps be moments away from double overtime. Another offside. 6.1 to go.
Yeah, and Dominointi kind of jumping the gun once again. Perhaps the pass was meant for him, but Flyer Kungen was the one coming up with a possession right there. And then, again, another offside for HAVU.
Big face-off here, tie-up. Loose puck, scramble. Linköping are going to come up with it. 2 seconds to go. Playmaker shot, paddled away. And Sin, double overtime on deck. This could be really a battle of wills more than anything. This is just game one, and we're going to double overtime.
Yeah, just game one. We're already, getting into the territory of it almost feeling like 2 games here, but it is a very, very long series and going to be made longer by close games such as this going to overtime. Now, key thing to mention, usually in overtime, the last 2 minutes is, real time. They're not going to have that here due to the reset, so we'll go by a bit quicker. Penalties to the tail end of the period, won't hurt as much, but that hasn't been a problem for either of these guys so far. No penalties. And wow, what a pass that was. If only there was a bit more time there, Playmaker had a chance to go one-on-one with the defender.
Again, a big talking point for Playmaker. So you got to look at the fantastic mug of one Anselino between the pipes. But a big talking point, of course, when you talk about the intricacies of a series like this, you get down to a little bit of the inside baseball, inside hockey. Of course, the player builds. One of the big talking points, Playmaker using a puck-moving defenseman on the wing, which, might become a bit of the meta on the European side of things, at least, if it results in him scoring 58 regular season goals, breaking the record, and, of course, being a one-man highlight reel. But here's Polanco in response. Shot on! Stopped by Kape. Great chance through the opening few seconds. 28 seconds gone on the clock. And a huge stop for Kape, keeping Linköping in this one, setting up a gigantic face-off here. We've seen the defensive zone draws be crucial at times. Tie up here. Flyer Kungen has space, sends it around the back of the net. Dominointi wins this one back, and again, he passed at the point. Down low in front, and just shanked wide. Big hit there by Playmaker. Chance here. Big glove save. Kape robbing Nasa Stelia with the glove.
Yeah, and HAVU really starting to throw these pucks on net right here. And as you mentioned, the puck-moving defenseman, Flyer Kungen also uses that build. It is exceptionally strong in puck control, and that's what these European meta kind of prefer there. You're starting to see it a lot more, especially in NA, the puck-moving D-men for the puck control.
Playmaker with space. Dangerous moment there. Just could not find the pass. Down to Eki. Now sent up. Here's Dominointi. Doesn't hit Flyer Kungen. And again, the miscommunication from HAVU.
Yeah, I mean, the direct pass would have been a bit tough right there, but there was a sauce option or, just carrying it in himself. So, yeah, again, maybe a bit of miscue right there from HAVU. Flyer Kungen didn't quite hold the line.
Absolutely. So, again, you see on the scoreboard there, registered as the second period, but of course it is an overtime. A restart was required. The next goal will win this game. Linköping in possession here. They've done well with their controlled breakouts, but HAVU picking up the momentum a little bit. Playmaker, though, off the turnover, has it. On the half wall. Gets it to Eki. Bit of space. Tried to find Potzloff. Great interception by Villikun, but he's not able to fully lead the counterattack. Linköping back in possession, but again, mistimed space coming at a premium when you're talking about trying to find space and work your way over the blue lines.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to have to start taking those little bit of chances trying to get yourself behind the defense as Eki tried to do right there. Just unfortunately, the pass came just a half second too late.
For Powanzo, a slap shot, old school style. A little bit further over the line than one Steve Eiserman was, but still tries to rifle that one home. Nearly found its way. Good opportunity again here for HAVU. They've been the better of the two teams, one could argue, upon the restart heading into the overtime. Captain Flyer Kungen trying to hold it at the blue line, not able to get it down low for Dominointi. Linköping will again send it back down low, looking for those controlled breakouts. The chemistry between J. Toro and Loimo. J. Toro, risky moment there, but he still comes up with it. Here's Eki. Big deke around Villikun, but not able to maintain possession. Stretch pass. Here's Villikun again. Chance here has option. Sauces it on. Flyer Kungen has it. Rapid doesn't go. Still in possession. One-timer! And he bombs it home! Villikun finds the winner! HAVU Gaming take game one in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, and that's what they are so good at doing. You see how low Villikun is there. He's sitting between the hash marks almost, and that's something HAVU does especially well when they get that down-low cycle going. They'll sneak one of their defensemen into a soft spot, feed him the puck, and he goes far side on that one. Linköping losing game one here, and HAVU taking the first game of the series by a score of 2-1.
A lot of talking points coming out of that one, Sin. I mean, HAVU, I don't think you can underestimate that restart, perhaps controversial in a way, because, man, did that benefit HAVU. They looked like a different team in terms of what they were able to get going and what they were able to get established. And that winning goal, it was that quick puck movement that finally paid off. We've seen Villikun score game-winning goals at times. He had 3 in the regular season, so we know he has that, in his locker, in his arsenal. And again, 11 goals in the regular season, was first amongst defensemen. That's his just his second goal of the postseason, as we're going to get another look at it here. As you see, the LT to block it down, but Flyer Kungen able to get it back. Quick back pass to Powanzo, and that feed from Powanzo there. You saw how ready for that shot Villikun was, and it goes right through the legs of Playmaker to stand as the winner. Not much Kape can do there. Incredibly quick movement on display from HAVU, but we've seen that from both teams, and that is one of the key things that we like to point out amongst these defensemen is once you get that low cycle going, the defensemen love to creep in and not just hang around at the point. They love to work their way into the circles, and it pays off there for those one-timers. Less time for a goaltender to adapt, and again, phenomenal job there by Villikun to sneak down in and get the game-winning goal set.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do so well. HAVU Gaming, their defensemen are so sneakily offensively gifted. I mean, you only notice them really, and you don't expect to notice them. We saw Villikun several times leading the rush, being the first guy up the ice, getting the puck into the zone, and you're wondering, okay, where'd he come from? That same thing right there, creeps down into the slot. Where'd he come from? One-time goal, and unfortunately for Playmaker, he did the exact right animation to block it, but again, just a little bit too slow, and unfortunately for Linköping, I mean, that's just a heartbreaker. You were looking like the better team before the restart. You had that disallowed goal, the first goal, and it could have been over. You could have had it 2-1, but a variety of factors ended up, and you're now looking at a 1-0 series deficit early on. Obviously not the start Linköping wanted, but we're going to get a look at just how, mentally composed they are with this restart here. But yeah, I want to, take this chance to kind of reiterate some of the build choices here by two of these teams, because I love that kind of stuff. I really like to break it down here. Both teams using one winger with the puck moving defenseman build. And what that does, with the puck mover, you have a lot of good puck control, number one, but also it almost serves as like a secondary playmaker. When you're playing against human goalies, you're never really going to see a sniper on the ice. You don't really need the shooting accuracy. A lot of the goals come from in tight. A lot of the time you're just trying to force that goaltender out of position. So everyone on the front three, playmaker, puck mover. And that's very much the meta here in Europe. Very much puck control, deking when you need it for the L skating. And then, that one guy is, there's no coincidence that you would consider perhaps the best winger on each team. Now, there's no disrespect to Eki, but how, prolific playmaker was goal scoring wise, he's that guy that they're looking for to hold on to that puck as well. So, it's really kind of interesting to take a look at some of these builds here. And ironically, I was thinking both teams were using two ways on the back end, but both of them puck movers as well. So you could see in Europe, the puck possession style is just so prolific here.
Absolutely. Sin, I'm just going to throw this out here. For ECL Season 11, I do recommend we get a new segment, Sin's Whiteboard, draw it up. Maybe, maybe try to make the most of it there. Of course, I do love the individual breakdowns as much as you do as well. Now, before Game 2, we also had interviews conducted as well. Of course, you heard from the captain of HAVU Gaming earlier in Flyer Kungen. You also heard from Eki. Now, while I would love to say we have Billy Kuhn here, in the aftermath of him scoring the game-winning goal in Game 1, we did get an interview with his defense partner, Nasistelia, earlier today. That was conducted by our broadcast partner, F5 Penguin, also known as Nick. And of course, Nick, take it away. Excited to hear what Nasistelia had to say heading into the series and really how that applies to how Game 1 played out.
Hey, thanks, guys. Nick here, and of course, I am joined by the one, the only, Nasu Stelia. Now, Nasu, let's jump right into the matchup here. We have finals hockey among us, but I want to quickly talk a little bit before we get into finals hockey, kind of about your history with HAVU. You've played with HAVU since ECL 8. You've had the same defensive partner for a while in Billy Kung. Talk a little bit about the chemistry there between having the same D partner for a long time and how that kind of allows you to be a little bit more successful on the ice.
I think like before I joined the team at ECL 8, the guys were like nervous about me because I'm a new player and they have to trust like the first pass to the new player. So at the start, I think like in the first games that we played we have like immediately chemistry, and he doesn't like to need to give me any advice at the beginning. But after that, when we started to talking about more how we want to like open the plays, find the right guys, and we want to pass, and I think in the long run we have like get so used to each other that we always know what we want to do, sometimes without saying anything.
Yeah, sometimes actions speak louder than words, but getting together that many times really does help. Let's talk a little bit about how you helped here. So we faced H-Reds in the last series. You guys got out to a strong 3-0 lead, but not without a lot of work. 2 of those games were in OT. The third one was a 1-goal decision, and of course you won Game 5 in OT again. How tough was it facing a team like H-Reds?
It was actually pretty tough, but like I think in some first games like went to the OT, I think we could have managed to win that like in the regular time, but we just play so sloppy, and it caused us to go to the OTs and have more pressure coming to us. So I am very proud of our guys that we have like we don't shatter like in the OTs, and we like to keep up our momentum and like to be positive to our like guy to the next to us, and like when you just talk with your guys and have like that positive air there, I think you can always win those games. But yeah, Horets was very tough opponent, even though we won it in 5 games.
5 games, 4 of them obviously victorious, punching your ticket. What was in that series that kind of prepared you for what you're about to face against Linköping?
Not sure. I think like Linköping plays a much more different kind of. They have so much different kind of play style, and I think we have to be more careful like that. Helsinki Reds have like some plays that we are so used to defend, but sometimes it's just so it comes to the puck bounces, and it's going to give the momentum to team if they always win those. But Linköping have they are much more like smarter team. They know how to like adapt to the play style of their opponent, and it's very tough to play against them.
And as you know, HAVU's played against them quite often here, 4 times in the finals, aiming for your 3rd championship. Off the ice, you guys know each other very well, not only HAVU, but your opponents. What's it like facing opponents that you just know almost like the back of your hand?
Sometimes it gets a little like when you are playing against Linköping in finals, even though you are so excited to play the finals, you're sometimes like, the game feels so slow, and sometimes it gets a little boring even because it's so slow. But every little thing that is happening on the ice is very important, and they can like give the game out for some team.
Very good. Well, Nassus Elliott, best of luck to you in the finals here. But we're gonna get down to ice level shortly. We'll throw it on back to the studio.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so it's very interesting to hear what he had to say leading into the series. And again, Nick had a good point in terms of the chemistry, and that was one of our main talking points as well, the chemistry between these two teams. Of course, you have HAVU taking game 1 in overtime, double overtime at that, so no real surprise there, but very intrigued, of course, to see how this next game goes. We'll be hearing from our broadcast partner, Drew Goldfarb, again here in a little bit. We'll try to get you that interview that he was able to conduct earlier today with Jay Toro of Linköping in between games 2 and 3. So very intrigued, of course, to hear from him and to hear what Jay Toro had to say. That said, Sin, we are just about ready to go. Game 2 on deck here. Again, a friendly reminder covering the first 3 games of this series here in this broadcast. We'll be covering games 4 throughout the rest of the series tomorrow at the same time, 20 CEST, that's 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on NHL Gamer. So, of course, if you're watching and following along here on Twitch, make sure to drop us a follow. Of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need. You can find us on the socials everywhere, of course, at NHL Gamer, as well as Sin. Not just are we continuing to follow along with the Elite Division, we were able to cover the Pro Division Finals earlier this week, and of course, hopefully if the time is there, we'll be able to cover the Light and Neo Divisions as well, because of course the finals always live up to the hype. And that said, so far I have to say Game 1 did live up to the hype, and of course it's the immovable force. You know, it's the old saying, of course. I mean, it is so cliched to say, but, you know, the unstoppable force, immovable object there, as I can, really butcher that one. But hey, what are you going to do? At the end of the day, though, excited to see how this one plays out. Game 2 is here. It is upon us. What do you think? We know that Linköping are mentality monsters. They trailed 3-1 in last year's final before winning in Game 7. What do you think, Kirsten? Do we see a response from Linköping?
Yeah, well, I think you're going to need to. I mean, they definitely don't want to go down in this series. They don't want to have to make their job as hard as possible as it was in the last season here. But, I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. HAVU Gaming had the back-to-back champs on hand. Linköping played spoiler in spectacular fashion. And now Linköping are the ones looking for that back-to-back championship. And HAVU right now trying to play spoiler for them. And they have the series lead so far. Linköping going to need some kind of response here. Going to need to get a few more goals on the board.
HAVU, the home side, in the black and green. Linköping, of course, in the white and blue. HAVU with a 1-0 series lead here in the ECL final. Again, these two teams battling for the largest prize pool in competitive 6's esports history. 15K euro on the line in this series. As right now, Sin, again, the battle of the blue lines, really between the blue lines, going to continue to be a factor here. But a little bit of space now for HAVU. Villikun shot deflection bid, and Kappe is able to make the save. Bit of a redirection there, Sim. We saw both teams go for the redirects quite frequently. Paid off at times, doesn't pay off there. Good opening save from Kappe.
Yeah, and I like to see that early from HAVU, as remember they only had that one registered shot on goal through the first 3 periods there, and I like to see them kind of going early for the kind of those blue-collar type plays, because again, it's going to be hard to come by shots when Linköping gets their collapse going.
Absolutely, as we saw, a bit of a dump attempt there. The dump and chase attempt from Jay Toro just didn't find its way through. Not to say the European style is to never send it into open space. A little bit of an opportunity goes to waste there for Flyer Kungen. We'll see what Linköping can do in response, and the answer is not much. Pawanso back to help on defense there. Stretch pass intercepted. Jay Toro, great job there. And still in possession of it now, but can't find playmaker on the pass. So, as we expected, the neutral zone battle really playing out here to the first 10 minutes or so. But Sin, unlike other matchups where you expect to see there, to eventually be space, it always comes at a premium with these teams. Here comes Potzloff, though. Burst of speed for Linköping. Sends it across. Loose puck still around the back of the net. Playmaker fighting for it. Billy Kuhn's there to defend. Playmaker has it, and he snipes it. What a shot. Linköping grabbed the early lead. Playmaker does it again.
Yeah, and you mentioned it a little bit ago in the last game. When the front of the net is covered, that's why we can see so many of those in-tight, hard angle shots, and that's what Playmaker does right there, picking the top of the net from just above the goal line there, and that's why he's one of the top goal scorers. He knows where to shoot from, he knows how to shoot, takes advantage of that blocker side right there from Hans Selina, who had to respect the pass options there, and 1-0 Linköping, a good early start for them. Again, they're going to need more here.
Top shelf from Playmaker, his leading 18th goal of this postseason. A phenomenal job there, and here come Linköping back on the attack, but an offside call. So again, never doubt Playmaker's ability to make a play out of seemingly nothing. The puck handling skills, the shot, it's all on point. The regular season, certainly not a fluke, and he's back in possession here, but takes the hit to make the play. Jay Toro stepping down, throws it in front, defended well by Dominoiti of HAVU. We hit the halfway point of this first period, so a good response from Linköping after dropping game 1 in double overtime. Space for Nasistelia here. We heard from him before this game. Finds Ville Kuhn, who scored the overtime winner, the double overtime winner again, in game 1. But it's Linköping back in possession now. Loimu taking his time, dishes it for Jay Toro. Again, a couple of quick passes here. Jay Toro takes the hit from 3 different members of HAVU. That's a way to make a statement in terms of patrolling your own blue line, but a bit of space opens up here. Nearly Playmaker finding his way through. He's still battling for it now and has possession. Tries to send it back down low, but a great read there by Pawanso to take that one away. A bit of miscommunication again there. Flyer Kungen trying to find the space over the blue line. Easier said than done. Eki able to work his way over. Tried to find Potzloff in front, but another good interception. Here's Potzloff again. Now Jay Toro, shot deflection bid. Loose puck is recovered by Ville Kuhn. He'll send it down quick. Great heads-up play there. We haven't seen that often. Miscommunication here. Pawanso can't pick the corner. Not sure what happened there for Linköping, but ultimately HAVU not able to take advantage. Here's Playmaker. Back down low. Great cycle. They get it back in front. He just misses on the backhand. Does Potzloff. Jay Toro for Loimu. Potzloff accidentally breaks up the shot from his own defender. 3 minutes to go here in the first period. Good chances for both sides. Now, though, HAVU trying to find their way through. You see that neutral zone set up there. Ultimately, space is found. Sent across by Flyer Kungen. Pawanso not on the receiving end of that one. Here's Eki. Now it's Loimu stepping up. Back to Eki. Playmaker not able to control that one. Good job again by Ville Kuhn as we approach the final minute of play here in the first period of Game 2. Now it's Nasistelia looking for space here through the neutral zone. Finds Flyer Kungen. They time it well at the line. Big spin now down low in the corner. Tries to send it in front, but the collapse was there. Sauced out. 5 seconds to play. This puck is rolling, and it will go for icing with 3.3 remaining. Big face-off here.
Yeah, huge face-off right here, and both centers have done well in their defensive zone right here, but if there's ever time for a set play, you see the aggressive face-off.
High up, loose puck. Flyer Kungen can't hold on to it. Sent in front, but time expires. So Linköping, a great response. Scoring the opening goal, it's Playmaker. Who else would it be?
Yeah, and a good job from him, but they did get the opening marker last time and still dropped that game in overtime, so they're definitely going to want to try to get some more offense here, but I want to kind of rewind the clock back and go back to that play that happened where we thought there might have been a bit of miscommunication on that kind of dump attempt right there, the slap pass attempt that was stopped by Loimu initially. He actually tripped over the net or the goaltender there and kind of lost his balance, which allowed HAVU to recover that puck and get an excellent scoring chance of their own there, so tough break for Loimu on the back end there, but fortunately Linköping doesn't pay for it, and again, one registered shot from each team, and we're going to get another look at the goal right here. Yes, indeed, a good job by Patzloff to force the pressure on, and as I said, Hanselinho there, if he hugs the post, he completely opens up the pass to Eki and the far side. We saw that was how HAVU, the similar location from where they got the game winner in overtime, although it was their defenseman in the slot getting that, but he had to respect that shot there, especially from a guy like Eki, and he kind of tried to play the odds, and Playmaker recognized that, put it top shelf, and that was the go-ahead goal for Linköping.
Lucky bounce or not to find its way to Playmaker, it counts off the stick, off the blocker, and in. But you'll take any bounce that you can get as Eki tries to hold this one in. Potsov able to make the pass. Eki has space. Big blocker save from Hanselinho. Good early stop there. Linköping, though, still in on the attack. Back to the point, it's Loimu. As options, it's Eki, and now again back to the defender. Down low for Potsov. Trying to fend off pressure from the other center. Playmaker, loose puck in front. Denied! Hanselinho able to make a couple of in-tight stops on Playmaker, who's starting to find that offensive rhythm. Chance here, though, for HAVU on the counterattack. Can they gain the line? Flyer Kunken does, but the traffic is there. Playmaker tries to find space. Self-sauce to generate a bit of speed. Still has it now down low in the corner. Defended well by Nasistelia, though. HAVU back in possession. Dominoiti. Errant pass. It'll be kept in by Jay Toro. Back down low into the hands of the defense, but now again it's Linköping on the attack. Playmaker to the point. D-to-D. Shot. Rebound. Denied. Hanselinho. Another great stop from HAVU's netminder. He's had to be on his toes here to start this second period. Great job by him to keep HAVU still in this one. Space now. Sestellia deflection and scores! What a play! What attack is all it takes! It's Poanzo in front. He responds again to a Playmaker goal. And Sin, how crucial was Hanselinho in that flurry? What a way for that to play out.
I mean, it doesn't happen without Hanselinho. That rebound, by all means, should have been knocked home by Patzloff. I'm still trying to figure out how Hanselinho got over in time as a combination of the animation from Patzloff on the shot and just the quickness of Hanselinho to get over there and cover that left post, and then they come right back the other way, and it's Puanzo once again on the deflection here. Tough break from Linköping, but you can see just how important a goaltender on his game is. They can create offense with their saves sometimes, and you saw it right there. HAVU ties it up.
A great heads-up play from Nasistelia to throw that one on. Even better positioning from Puanzo in front as the deflection game continuing to work out for him. We're tied at 1 goal apiece. MVP of the game right now. Hanselinho for HAVU between the pipes. HAVU's back on the attack. Great puck movement to try and find space. Dominoiti finds Puanzo here. Slap shot, blocked down in front and over the glass. Setting up a faceoff.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it hit a Linköping body or a HAVU one, but that will kind of, it did. Okay, so it did hit a Linköping one. Offense's own faceoff here. We'll see if Dominoiti can retain possession.
5-2 in favor of Potzloff on the draws. Tie up here. Loose puck scramble. Linköping able to come up with it. Bit of space here for Playmaker. Nasu's there to try and defend. Here's Eki, but it's Dominoiti who's able to come up with it for HAVU. Takes his time. The pressure's there for Eki. Linköping stepping up that aggressiveness again. Chance here, though, for Nasu. Able to find the pass somehow onside. Now back to the point. D-to-D. Villikun sends it down low. Back in front. Just out of reach of Dominoiti. Now again, Puanzo back to the point. D-to-D passes here, sent down low into the corner. Flyer Kunken tried to throw that one on. Perhaps a buffer shot ultimately. And Linköping are able to recover. We'll see what they can do here on the counterattack. Space. Playmaker finds a way. Tried the tuck. Could not get it. Great heads-up play there, though. The creativity nearly on display. 7.5 minutes to go now here in the second period of Game 2. So Linköping will control this one as they settle it down. See what happens here through the neutral zone. They try to find space. HAVU defender being pressured, but great job there by Villikun to hold on to it. Again, trying to work it around a little bit, trying to find the gaps in the Linköping blue line game. But of course, easier said than done. Both teams do such a wonderful job of shutting down the blue line and really cutting out these breakout passes. Stretch pass there for Flyer Kungen doesn't go. Linköping back in possession. Maybe Eki looking for playmaker on that one. Not able to find the space. And space coming at a premium in this series. One of the key descriptions here. 3-on-2 developing for Linköping. Playmaker in front. Couldn't get a piece of it. That was, I believe, Loimu stepping up. Indeed, Potslav is back on defense to try and help out. And he does a great job at that. But HAVU back in possession. Here's Pawanso. Tried the near post. Loose puck is recovered by Linköping. So we approach 2 minutes to play now. Jay Toro takes the hit. Great job there from Pawanso. Dominoiti tries to hold on to it. Good puck movement here. Nasastelia for Villikun. Shot blocker stopped by Kape. Battle behind the back of the net here. Flyer Kungen and Dominoiti there for HAVU. Puck shot. Playmakers there. Has a bit of space to work with, but defended well by Nasastelia. Final 30 seconds. Eki breaks this one up. Has a couple of options. Trying to hold on to it. Not able to maintain control. 4 seconds left. Nasastelia sends it around the back. And Sin, that will kill off the second period. We are again heading into the third, tied at 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a trap game at times, but once a team sets up, it is very hard to get them off the puck at times, and I think HAVU doing a great job of that. While they may not be getting tons of the registered shots, I mean, their offense has looked good. They've gotten the chances. They've scored a goal. It's an even game, and, as the game wears on, I think Linköping looked really, really good at first. They're having less time and less space, and their forecheck has started to peel back a little bit. You saw that there at the tail end. Now, there's only, less than 10 seconds left, and Patslav actually dropped back a little bit instead of pressuring Nasastelia with Eki, and there could have been long stretch pass and a chance the other way, but in that case, I think it could have been more beneficial to try to get that turnover, try to get one more chance on net here in the finals. Anything can happen. Every single second matters, and if you're in that offensive zone with a chance to force a play with really no chance for a chance at the other end, off the counterattack, you might want to take it right there. So perhaps, we're seeing a little bit of the mentals, kind of maybe frustration coming out from Linköping, or just, lack of situational awareness at time. Hard to say what's going on in their comms, but yeah, HAVU, as this game wore on, seeming to get better and better, kind of as they did in the overtime games from last period here. And Linköping going to want to find another quick response, get into the zone, start really getting some other chances.
Third period underway. Tied at 1 here. Game 2 of the ECL Elite Division Final. And HAVU quickly in on the attack. D-to-D passes here to try and find space. An errant pass there as they tried to send it back down low. Here come Linköping in response. Incomplete pass, but they still have a chance to make the play out of this. Although Villikun again doing so well. All 4 defensemen in this series. Really off to a spectacular start, all things considered. Flyer Kungen recovers this one down low in the corner. Still has it, Pawanso. Good movement. Big save there by Kape off the shot from Nasastelia. Another shot, and Kape able to make another save. HAVU continuing to get the defenders involved, but it doesn't pay off there.
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to shoot the puck a lot more, especially off of turnovers, not allowing Linköping to get set up defensively and really get their collapse going. A couple quick passes and a shot.
Tie up off the draw. HAVU come up with it. Pawanso takes the big hit there from Loimu, and an errant pass as they tried to go back to the point. Keep it off the mark there. And they'll be forced to reset. Nasastelia tries to find an option, dishes it back for Villikun, and again back between the defenders, but another offside call. HAVU having trouble, of course, finding space at times. Both teams are sent.
Yeah, really good job patrolling the blue line by Linköping right now. HAVU has had a bit of easier time at times in this game gaining the line here, and it was like to see them with the physical edge as we perhaps expected.
A little bit of space here for Villikun. Tried to find Dominoiti down low. Playmaker sends it back and around, and now we'll see what Linköping are able to do on this controlled breakout. Good movement there. Better defense from HAVU to knock Playmaker off the puck. They're back in possession. But again, having to fend off pressure from that high press. Good outlet pass there to Flyer Kungen. Can't get past Jay Toro, but he recovers. Tried to find Pawanso in front, but Eki was there to defend. Easy to get tongue-tied there. Chance here again for Linköping in response. Loimu stepping up on defense. Now it's Potslav. Playmaker down low, takes the hit. Jay Toro's down low in the corner, though, to recover it. You have Eki at the point, and here's Loimo. Shot deflects wide. Great job from Dominointi, but Potsov still has it. Dominointi again, shining in the defensive zone right now, making plays for his team. 9 minutes gone here in the third. Again, HAVU trying to break things down. Nastastelia looking for space and finds it. Pawanso, good job to hold on to it, but Eki is there to take it away. Linköping trying to find the space on the counter here. Outlet pass. Finds its way to Potslop. Tries to throw it on. Loose puck, and Hanselino is able to cover Sim. We saw that in the early stages of Game 1. Linköping willing to throw it on from odd angles, and it nearly paid off again there.
Yeah, that time, unfortunately, just kind of a floating backhand. Not able to get to the forehand there for the extra power, so the rebound wasn't as strong.
Space for Playmaker. Defended well by Villikun. Here's Jay Toro, though. Now Loimu passing it around with Eki, trying to find space. Back to the point. D-to-D passes here, trying to catch HAVU off guard. Low puck off the side of the net. And Sim, we're going to see our first penalty, perhaps, of this series. It's going to be a member of HAVU going to the box, but Linköping going to be able to take their time here and make the most of this possession. The Playmaker will send it down low. Nobody home. It's only a 2-minute minor. Didn't see what it was for. It's going to be a tripping call. And it is going to be the captain, Flyer Kungen, taking a seat. The first penalty of this series, Sin.
Yeah, huge chance for Linköping. They didn't have the strongest power play through the regular season. Only 24.5% about. That was good enough for 10th, but they're going to need it right here. They really got to get it going. They need a goal.
Tie up here on the draw, but Linköping able to get possession. Puck in the corner. Now Sestelia not able to hold on to it. Pawanso unable to clear. Space here. Playmaker on the backhand. Looking, throws it on. Rebound taken away. And again unable to clear HAVU. Eki looking for space down low in the corner. Brings it around the back. Finds Playmaker. Quick passes. Big save by Hanselino. But Linköping still in possession. Here's Eki. Cycles back up to the point. Now Jay Toro. Linköping looking for a specific look here. Potsloff draws a follow-up trip. Chance here for Playmaker. Blocked down in front. Still in possession. On the doorstep was Eki Sin. It's a 5-on-3 for 28 seconds. And it's going to be, I do believe that's Nastastelia taking a seat.
Yep, so Nastastelia now taking a seat. That's, not ideal for HAVU. You want both of your defensemen, especially on a penalty kill situation, so they're really going to have to step up, but Linköping need to win this face-off for the 5-on-3. They cannot allow HAVU to get the clear.
End of 3 here on the draws. Potsov taking over as Pawanso is able to win back possession and send that one down. So Flyer Kungen will be out here right as they cross the blue line. Space for Eki. Here comes Flyer Kungen in response. Playmaker space. Tried to pull it to the backhand. Hit the side of the net as Villikun's able to send that one down. Under 5 minutes remaining now here in the third period of Game 2. Again, Game 1 going to double overtime. For Villikun, the right defenseman, you see him there making the play, using the body, was able to score the winner in that one. 30 seconds remaining here on the man advantage for Linköping. A huge opportunity, potentially passing them by. Loimu gains the line. Has options. Jay Toro can't get the shot off. Loose puck and clear. That was Flyer Kungen who was able to send that one down. HAVU survive, or perhaps Linköping blow an opportunity. All about the optics. Depends on how you look at it, but regardless, the score holds. Playmaker, though, in possession here for Linköping. Has a couple of options. Finds Jay Toro. Can't get the shot through. Recovered by Eki. Now it's Loimu again. Jay Toro. D-to-D passes. One-timer denied. Rebound chance still alive. HAVU able to survive and get it out. They don't find Flyer Kungen, but here's Villikun now. Defended extremely well by Jay Toro. That brings us to the final minute. Anselino has been crucial to the success of HAVU Gaming, of course. He's had a spectacular game here. Might have to come up with another big save, though. Here's Eki. Loses it down low in the corner. HAVU back in possession. Big hit there from Loimu. Times it well at the line. Eki shot. Rebound. Loose puck. Recovered around the back of the net. Loimu to Eki. Has a couple of options. Goes to Jay Toro at the point. Miscommunication on the pass, and it's bounced all the way back to the Linköping zone. Still on the attack in the aftermath of the 5-on-3 power play as we approach 20 seconds to play here in regulation. Turned over in the neutral zone. Flyer Kungen looking for space. Tries to send it down low. Still has it around the point. Couple of options. Deflection bid. Never finds its way on target. Chance here for Linköping in the final 10 seconds. Eki over the line. Playmaker with space. Sauces it on. Stopped by Hanselino. Jay Toro. One-timer. Blocked down and cleared. And Sin. Why not? we go to overtime yet again. I'm sensing a trend.
Yeah, and you know what? If HAVU come up with the victory again, it would be on the back of Hanselino, and Linköping would feel like they just missed a huge opportunity for, I mean, they had the 5-on-3, they had a very, very long power play. They were unable to score. They were getting chance after chance here towards the end. The ice was tilted in their favor. They simply weren't able to put one behind Hanselino and into the net, and that's got to hurt. They played a great game there, especially in the third. They're taking it to HAVU, but the score remains time overtime. Once again, you can see the difference in shots, the difference in time on attack. Linköping had it, but we saw that a variety of times in the last series between HAVU and HREDS, and HAVU were able, for the most part, to come away with those overtime victories here. I'm not going to say it's a must-win, but if you're Linköping, you do not want to lose this game right here.
I mean, you talk about having to come back from 3-1 down in the series last year. Whether or not they're capable of doing it again, sure. Is it likely? Probably not, as you get a look at the HAVU boys here prepping for this overtime. A chance to take a commanding 2-0 series lead on the line here. Of course, don't go anywhere at the conclusion of this game. Game 3 still on deck here in this broadcast. Of course, the remainder of this series will be played tomorrow, same time, 20 CEST. That's 2 p.m. Eastern time for those of you here in North America. So the question is, what will that lead be? Will it be 3-0? Will it be a 2-1 split? Only time will tell as HAVU regather possession here in their own zone. Billy Kuhn in possession of it there for a moment. Of course, he scored the double overtime winner, as mentioned. Dominoiti. Shot on. Rebound was there for Flyer Kunga, and Jay Toro able to take that one away, playing some of his best hockey of the season defensively. As here's Eki now. Potzloff back for Eki. Glove save, Hanselino. He's made some big stops in this one. None greater than that.
And what a play. You rarely see a goaltender sort of move up in their crease unless they're sure a shot will be taken. Hanselino taking away the angle there, and you saw Villikun at the end, giving him a little bit of a bounce there out of respect. Hanselino is on his game.
Was a great job there by Polanco off that face-off to recover possession for HAVU. Eki pressuring there. Dominoiti has it over the line. Now here's Polanco. Back for Nasastelia. D to D. Sends it down low into the corner again. Flyer Kungan poked away for a moment there by Potzloff. They try to send it back to the point. Nasastelia not there. And HAVU will look to reset. This one covered for a moment by Hanselino. 6 minutes gone here in the overtime. Again, these two teams had some overtime meetings in the regular season. Space here for Polanco. Can't dance his way through. Those games ended rather quickly. This one not so much. Shot on. Stopped. Second chance. Still fighting for it, but Linköping come up with it. And they have a chance here on the rush. Eki for Potzloff. Has help with them, but loses it on the battle. And Polanco recovers before it finds its way to Hanselino. Good step up there by Loimu. Recovered again, though. Here's HAVU yet again, and again. Here's Polanco. Thrown in front. Flyer Kungan just not able to get that pass through. And it's end-to-end hockey here in overtime. Eki finds Potzloff. Back for Eki. Can't bury the shot. Chance here again. Potzloff in front. Eki J. Toro can't bury the chance. Billy Kuhn able to hold that one. Both teams tremendous opportunities. The spin would have been offside, and HAVU forced to reset. Sin, 9 minutes here remaining in OT1. We might be destined for a second overtime, although HAVU playing with fire here in their own zone.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Eki hit the post on that in-tight chance, just inches away from ending this one.
Recovered here. Great job by Potzloff on the forecheck. Loimu, though, has trouble in response. Eki able to gather possession. Potzloff throws it on from an odd angle. Doesn't find its way in. Dominoiti in response. The center battle, of course, crucial at this stage as well between these two. Linköping back in possession here now, getting the better of the play here in this overtime. But it's HAVU back in possession here. 6 minutes to go in overtime number 1. And you can see they're trying to draw on the pressure. They have no problem taking their time and looking to catch Linköping off guard, but they can't do so on that attempt. It's an offside call with 5:23 to go.
All right, and we did have a bit of a build change. Playmaker actually made himself a little bit taller and a little bit heavier there, perhaps concerned about some of the puck possession, wanted a bit more in this one. And that was between games.
Exactly, that little bit of extra balance. I mean, it paid off. He was able to get Linköping's goal in this one, their lone goal so far. Here's Polanco, tried the near post. Just couldn't get the animation he was looking for. Kappe able to make the stop with 4:12 to go.
Yeah, and HAVU really trying to keep going for those, around the net thing. We talk about it so much when they play. They love that down low cycle. They either try the in-tight chances or kick it back up top for a one-timer.
Another clean win there for Potzloff in the defensive zone. He's gotten the better of Dominoiti. Trouble for Jay Toro, but he's able to handle that one well. Good outlet pass. Great puck movement on display here. Playmaker along the half wall. Finds Eki. Now Jay Toro at the point, down low into the corner. Tried to dish it back. Was Potzloff looking for Jay Toro again? Miscommunication. Great job there by Loimu to try and hold up Pawanso as he looked to chase that one down. 2 minutes to go now. Here's Playmaker yet again. Finds Eki. Has Potzloff with him. The big spin pass just off the mark. And again, Sin, you talked about it. Something that didn't happen in the overtimes of the last game. The slow final 2 minutes in effect. See what happens here through the neutral zone. Natsustelia looking for space, trying to find Flyer Kungan. He does. Down low, Pawanso tries to cut back in. He can't find the space. Great defense there again from Linköping. Forced to drop it back. The around the back passes from Jay Toro and Loimu to look for those options. Big sauce pass. Playmaker with space. Cuts back. Knocked off the puck there, though. Billy Kuhn, great job. And here comes HAVU yet again as we approach the final minute of play. Puck along the line. Here's Eki, though, for Linköping. Loimu self-sauce for space. Has it down low. Throws it in front. Loose puck kicked out to the side. Loimu tried to throw it back in front, and it goes all the way back to Kape. He'll play it out. 1 minute to go here in overtime number 1 here in game 2. First game with the double overtime. Thought Eki might be able to work his way through there. He was unable to do so. These teams looking for the winner. Of course, the 3rd straight finals matchup between these two teams. The best that Europe has to offer. Flyer Kungan for Ville Kuhn. Now Nasu, D to D. Great movement here. Down low, it's Pawanso. Finds Flyer Kungan near post test. Kape was there to fend him off. Final 30 seconds here. Good possession time for HAVU, but not able to make the most of it. Here's Jay Toro for Linköping. Puts it back down into the corner. Quick pass there, intercepted by Playmaker. Brutal turnover. That shot doesn't find its way through. Here come HAVU. 17 seconds to go. A lot can happen in 17 seconds, as this Bruins fan can tell you. Sauce towards the net. Loose puck recovered around the back. Linköping in possession with 8 to go. Turned over. Now Sestelli on deflection and scores! It's Dominoiti in front. 1 turnover too many, and HAVU steal another one in overtime and take a 2-0 series lead over our defending champions in Linköping.
Yeah, I winced when I saw that kind of sauce around the boards there to no one but the HAVU defender, and you knew they were going to go to that play again, back to the well, the deflection in front. It's been working, it worked again, and this is hard to imagine for Linköping. They really had most of the momentum there in overtime, the chances they were getting. You could feel a goal was just an inch away from them, but they unfortunately can't capitalize. Hanselinho is a big part of that. But, oh man, you just got to feel for them right now. They just did something they did not want to do. They went down 2-0 against HAVU here, and, it's unfortunate as what it is, but Linköping, I mean, played with fire right there and got burnt. I was gonna really commend them on their forecheck before. Playmaker with an excellent read to cut off the pass, and you mentioned that was a pretty brutal turnover by HAVU, but on the flip side, a brutal turnover by Linköping there, and it leads to their demise here in game 2.
An uncharacteristic turnover for sure, as again, Linköping start off the scoring. It was Playmaker, but from there, if I'm not mistaken, it was Playmaker got that opening goal. It can be tough to remember. That was a long time ago, Sin. But Pawanso, a deflection goal, I believe, to tie it. And then again, Dominoiti, the center for HAVU, getting the overtime winner, just shy of going to double overtime for the 2nd time to start off this series. Now, Sin, you talked about it. I mean, again, we do have a lot to talk about here to set the stage for Game 3, including an interview coming up here in just a matter of moments with Drew Goldfarb. He'll be talking to one Jay Toro, which very intrigued to see. Of course, that interview conducted earlier in the day, how that thought process compares to what it was before the series started compared to what it must be now that Linköping again find themselves trailing to start off a series. But so I think we're actually going to be going to that interview here right now. And of course, we'll continue to set the stage. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 on deck in just a matter of moments. But for now, let's take it over to our broadcast partner, Drew Goldfarb, and see what Jay Toro had to say earlier today.
Thank you very much. Drew Goldfarb here, joined by Toro from Linköping HC. Toro, after a strong regular season, you guys have been on, to say the very least, quite the run during the postseason. What's made your team such a constant and consistent threat throughout the regular season and especially in the playoffs?
Well, we have played a lot more in like the postseason, and I think that helped a lot. And we talk more now. I think Kappe is a genius at like the highest hockey IQ ever in the game. He has like send us videos, and then we go through like before every game how we should play and stuff like that. So we've never done that before, so I think that'll help us a lot.
You played with HAVU for several seasons before joining the team that we now know today as Linköping HC. Do you feel it's an advantage for you that you've played with many of the players on the other side of this matchup? Are you still close with your old teammates, and have you been talking to them in this lead up, or is it, radio silence going into a series like this?
I'm friends with a lot of them. Yeah, still friends. No hard feelings. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of an advantage because like in every game, like a new season and stuff, like you change your tactics and everything like that almost every season and against every team and like stuff like that. So I don't think it's that big of an advantage. But you get more hype because you're friends with them and stuff.
One thing that has been really consistent is this rivalry. It's been front and center for the last couple seasons. Only fitting for you guys to go 1-on-1 yet again, 6v6 yet again for an ECL title, third straight year. Do these games feel different when it's these two teams going at it? Is there a different feel going into a series like this as opposed to any other team in the league?
Well, I think we almost know every time we go into a playoffs that we need to play good, but that we should win. But when it's HAVU, it feels like it's very 50-50, like anyone could win. It depends very much on if we play good or if they play good. It depends on the day and if the puck bounces good or bad. Stuff like that, that's the series is gonna depend on that. So, yeah.
You are a defenseman. You've got a difficult task in front of you going up against a team like this. What changes or adjustments do you have to make when you're taking on a team that has such a strong lineup, such a great offense, like in a matchup like this?
I gotta concentrate all the time. No slacking. Like in 1 second you look away or somewhere, you're not concentrating, it can be 1-0 to them. So I really need to be on my game and sleep good and just be pumped up before the games and just get the boys pumped. Then we usually play good.
Toro, thank you so much. Best of luck to you in the championship series.
Thank you.
Now, again, a big thanks to Drew Goldfarb and F5 Penguin, Nick as well. You'll be seeing those two on the pregame broadcast tomorrow. Sin and I, of course, will be back here for commentary duties as well. You couldn't boot us off of that commentary desk if you tried. Not a chance. I cannot wait for those games as well. Of course, 20 CEST, games 4 through potentially 7. That is 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, that being Saturday, of course, and we hope to see you there. Now, Sin, game 3 on deck. A surprising 2-0 series lead for HAVU, and again for Linköping, it's kind of the story of not being able to make the most of their opportunities. They got the better of HAVU in that overtime, and again, as we talked about, all it takes is one chance, and that's what they gave HAVU, a brutal turnover, a very uncharacteristic turnover in overtime for a member of Linköping, leads to the goal, and now, look, flat out, last year's final, again, was phenomenal. Again, as we talked about, HAVU up 3-1 in that series. Linköping comes back to win it in 7, and perhaps, again, a 3-0 or a 3-1 series lead comeback's impressive. Maybe Linköping's looking for a 3-0 comeback this year to be that much more impressive. Who's to say? But ultimately, at the end of the day, for Linköping, you need to clean some things up. You can't really blame Kappe for those deflection goals in front. It's been a phenomenal job there by Linköping, and perhaps a little bit surprising with some of the builds. Again, something that we've noticed, of course, the bigger build's not really that big of a factor. You have to wonder, again, the positioning, hand-eye, and how much that goes into getting more beneficial deflections in front for a lot of these teams. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of Linköping making the most of this, because otherwise, HAVU have proved to be opportunistic in the past. They've been very opportunistic tonight so far. And again, a 2-0 lead. If that's a 3-0 HAVU lead heading into the back half of the series in tomorrow's broadcast, it really is tough to see how Linköping battle back.
Absolutely. I mean, lightning can strike twice, but it's an even harder task if they drop this game. I mean, if last game wasn't a must win, this one absolutely is. If you're Linköping, you can't go down with, your backs against the wall and have to win 4 straight against a team like HAVU. It's possible, but it's just such a hard task, and you don't want to do that to yourselves here. Linköping need to strap themselves in. They need to throw everything at the wall in this next game. They need to get a win. They need to draw blood here in this series. Otherwise, HAVU, I mean, their revenge is just looking all the more sweeter here as the series will continue. But yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, we talked about it in pregame. One of these goalies at some point is going to have to steal a game. And honestly, I think Hanselinho stole that last one. He had a couple saves that were surefire goals. The Eki one, had he stayed back in his crease, I think Eki could have sniped it. The rebound that Potslov had with Hanselinho slid over to guard the left post. I mean, he has just been absolutely on fire for his team. And, I don't know if correlation equals causation, but HAVU Gaming on site together, they are looking extraordinarily strong.
We talked about how big of a factor that would be. Again, as you just saw the HAVU cam there, and we thank them for that option. But the HAVU team together in the same location, whereas the Linköping boys having to rely on playing from home. And again, as Sid mentioned, how big of a factor is that? HAVU, of course, do have that 2-0 series lead. Now, again, Sid, it's tough to say here for Linköping. I mean, both teams getting opportunities. It's just been a matter of HAVU making the most of them. So when you talk about what is it going to take here for Linköping, I mean, we perhaps haven't seen the best that they have to offer, but we've seen the normal strategies. J. Toro and Loimu getting more involved, Potslov being more than willing to drop back in defense, Eki as well, while those defenders step up. But even then, still, for Linköping, you're talking about just a goal per game output thus far in this series, even though it's only been through 2 games.
Yeah, and that's a tough situation because some of their chances have been really good, but they basically seem to have like these waves, these moments of dominant play, and it's just simply hasn't been enough. And when it comes to HAVU, they have those same waves, but then they also have these other opportunities where they'll put a quick shot on net from the point. And I think Linköping just isn't doing that. They're looking for the point options, but it's after they've already established their zone time, and they've given HAVU the time to sort of build up their collapse and sort of get in the way of those shooting lanes. So maybe sometimes on the rush there, if they could sneak in J. Toro Loimu into a softer area, maybe in the high slot or near the point, a back pass from, Playmaker or Patslov, someone there. It seems like they want to drive that front of the net. They want to look for those rebound goals. And so far, they haven't really gotten enough offense from that. So, again, we're going to see probably Linköping just, come in with a completely different chances here. And if we don't, then you really got to question where their mental state is at if they don't really change things up. Yes, you've only lost each game by 1 goal. Yes, you've looked good in them, but you need to score goals, plain and simple. At this point, what you're doing isn't working well enough. You need to score. It's not just a matter of, okay, we keep, banging our heads against the wall and eventually they'll go in. Hanselinho is looking on his game. You're going to have to try to do something to take him off or try to just do something to get the puck behind him.
I mean, again, so you look back to that 5-on-3 that Linköping weren't able to take advantage of. And you mentioned it, while they didn't have the best power play in the regular season, I mean, you talk about it. Eki, 3rd in goals with 35 and 30 in the regular season. Potslov, 9 goals in 9 playoff games. That's now down to 9 goals in 11 playoff games. It's only been Playmaker thus far, so it is very surprising. Of course, Playmaker with that extremely impressive 18 goals through 11 postseason games so far, but that is simply not enough. So game 3, again, just about ready to go. Sin, I don't know what your prediction is, but I know what you're going to say. It's a must-win for Linköping.
Absolutely must win for Linköping. They've looked extremely good, especially in that overtime. But again, none of that matters if you can't put the puck in the net. Now, that's credit to Hanselinho, credit to HAVU's defense, and maybe, a bit credit to some not optimal bounces, but Linköping has gotten bounces. They're definitely not, on the receiving end of just simply not having the luck. I mean, they've gotten their fair share. It's just at this point, you can say as much as you want. You can, hit your strategies as much as you want. It's time to score. It's time to execute.
Absolutely. Linköping, of course, in the blue and red. HAVU in the white road jerseys here, looking to take that commanding 3-0 series lead. They're in possession here. A little bit of trouble there at the line. Of course, discipline has been really a strong moment here. Powanzo, I thought he was going to be able to step away there. The only 2 penalties taken in this series, both by HAVU in the last game. Of course, HAVU with that aggressive style, it was impressive that they'd only taken 2 penalties as a team through the first 9 games. J. Toro at the point, Sauce down in front. Potzloff was there, but was unable to get a piece of it. And Sin, interesting to see Dominoiti constantly going down with the left bumper. It got him into a little bit of penalty trouble in the last game, but it pays off there. Great effort on the shot block attempts and really trying to sweep, something we don't see as much. That was more of the NHL 19 meta, which was, of course, going down with the left bumper to break up pucks.
Yeah, and he's doing it a lot more now to not only do that, but also block the shots, too. It kind of works as a double kind of feature right there, especially when you're in the slot, as you will see Dominoiti in so much. And I think that's where you see the hesitation from Linköping to fire it from the slot is because he's doing that. It's a deterrent as much as it is a weapon.
Trouble for Villikun here. It's Playmaker and Potzloff in. This one all the way through the slot and back down into the neutral zone. So Linköping will be forced to reset. The first goal here going to be crucial. Sin, correct me if I'm wrong. Linköping scoring the first goal in each of the 2 games thus far as Dominoiti fights for this one. The overtime hero, big turnover and a gigantic stop by Kape, robbing Flyer Kungen on a point-blank opportunity. And again, we see Linköping getting in trouble in their own zone. Loimu the space, toe drag, can't get it through. Loose puck kicked out to the left of Hanselinho. And HAVU will drop that one back to resettle. But again, dangerous moments here by Linköping from these turnovers. And again, so uncharacteristic in terms of really just not controlling the puck as you'd expect. Here's Potzloff, denied. Hanselinho able to make the stop. Loimu not able to hold it at the line. Very interesting, of course, to see how this one's playing out right now.
Yeah, an unfortunate break right there for Linköping. But again, I mean, right when they start to get a bit of pressure, something kind of goes wrong. They relieve the pressure, but again, get right back in.
Here's Eki at the point. Finds its way over to Playmaker. Now down low in the corner. Back to J. Toro. Quick D-to-D passing. And now J. Toro slap shot. Blocked down in front yet again. Both teams still looking for those deflections. Paid off well for HAVU. J. Toro back in front. It's Potzloff and he scores. And for the 3rd time in as many games, it's Linköping striking first.
And that's a huge goal, but again, it hasn't mattered too much in this series so far because they haven't been able to follow it up with additional scores. They're going to have to do that right now, stay aggressive, maybe even get more aggressive. Excellent vision right there to pass that puck to the slot, and Potzloff picks the top left corner, glove side on Hanselinho. And that was good work by the defenseman J. Toro and Loimu setting that play up and getting Potzloff open there in the slot.
Huge goal there for Linköping. The first goal scored by somebody else other than Playmaker in this series thus far. But again, as mentioned by Sin, they haven't been able to take advantage of the opening goal. HAVU's done a great job in response, but here comes Linköping right back in on the attack. Eki still has it along the half wall, back to the point. Quick D-to-D work here. Eki, a little bit of space to work with, sends it back in front. HAVU able to recover though. 5.5 to go here in the first period of Game 3 as Nasu drives into the corner. Here's Flyer Kungen. Dominoiti tried to go back in front for Nasu. Stepping up and still in on the attack. Dishes it back to the point. Here comes Polanco. Back down into his normal spot. Flyer Kungen has it around the back. Takes the hit. Dominoiti keeps possession. Good movement here. Nasu Stelia looking. Now it's Villikun, the overtime hero in Game 1. Thrown back in front. Again, Dominoiti denied twice. But HAVU, good possession work in response to being scored on. Shot blocked down. Polanco, a second chance there on the near post, does not go. Now here's J. Toro. Finds Potzloff, the goal scorer. Good sauce to Playmaker. Playmaker again denied by Hanselinho. Great work there by J. Toro to feed him the puck. Final 2 minutes of play here. HAVU gonna try to find space. Of course, easier said than done at the blue line, as we've mentioned so many times. Final minute of play here in the first. Chance, Dominoiti just wide of the post. Flyer Kungen dishes it back in front, intercepted well there by Loimu. He looks to lead the charge. Loses it for the moment. Here's Polanco. 7 seconds to work with for HAVU. Great protection there on the L skating, but loses it. Recovers it now. Nasistelia. Shot stopped by Kape in the dying moments. And a huge save there And Linköping escaped the first period, again, Sin, correct me if I'm wrong, with the lead for the very first time in this series.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten the first goal in every single game, as you pointed out earlier, but yeah, they've have been unable so far to sustain that lead for very long, and so good job there. Really kind of saved by the bell toward the end. The low shot by Nasu Steli, and guess who was on the doorstep? The captain, Flyer Kungen, one of the last guys you want right there. And, fortunately for them, the buzzer rang. Kappe was in good position, but you never know what those in-tight chances. But yes, Linköping, they have the advantage. They have the lead. That's where they want to be. They need more. We know it. One goal simply will not be enough against this HAVU team. And with the way Hanselinho's been playing in net, I mean, you really want to get one, maybe even two more on him, just for the confidence sake. I mean, you've only been able to get one goal a game so far, and even that one, Hanselinho got a piece of it. And I mean, it's just, he's been really on point right now. And, Linköping really trying to struggle to at least execute. They're finding the offense. They're getting the shots. They're looking good. They're getting the break-ins. But there's that one thing standing in the way. It's the execution and Hanselinho. And, well, he's looked on his game, and goals have been very hard to come by for both teams, but especially for Linköping.
Off a questionable hitbox, goes off the glove, off the post, and in. But as we have established, both teams are willing to take whatever they can get. Here's Dominoiti for HAVU, tried to throw one on, was defended well there by fellow centerman Potzloff, who's back in possession of it here. Throws one on, goes wide. Jay Toro able to hold it into the zone, throws one on, had playmaker for a deflection bid, but Pawansa was there to intercept it. Flyer Kungen in possession, not for long. Scramble for the puck here around the back of the net. Trying to find it. Pawansa able to dig it out. Tries to go to the net. Loose puck still there. Flyer Kungen denied. Second chance. Puck still loose. And again, HAVU back in possession. Chance now again. Nasa Stelia. Couple of quick passes here. Tried to find Flyer Kungen sneaking in front, but Playmaker was there to defend. Again, now here's Dominoiti looking. Tried to find Nasu. Couldn't hit him on the pass. Flyer Kungen back to the point. Good D-to-D work there. Trying to find the lane. Shot. Loose puck in the crease. Still fought for. HAVU throw one off the back of the net. Linköping trying to survive there. Close calls on defense. This one rocketed into the zone. Loose puck. Miscommunication off the pipe. Unbelievable. Don't know what happened there with Hanselinho, but he survives an incredibly scary moment. Somehow Linköping not doubling up their lead. What a turn of events that would have been. HAVU still in possession. Reeling from that moment, that opportunity, and a chance here. Bit of space. Jay Toro trying to work his way through. Can't find Eki on the pass. Here come HAVU yet again. End-to-end action. Somehow, some way. Linköping not up by two. Here's Dominoiti. Tries to dance his way through, but good defense there yet again. Sent around. Eki able to recover. Great poke check there from Dominoiti on the back pressure. Pawanso. Dominoiti on the doorstep. Hits the side of the net. Good chance again there for HAVU. These two teams really opening up. Another turnover there. Loose puck. Dominoiti recovers for HAVU. Pawanso maybe tried to look to find the pass on the backhand. Defended well yet again by Jay Toro. This one kicked back through the neutral zone with just over 9 minutes remaining. An unbelievable moment there, Sin, that I still can't get over as this one goes all the way back to the HAVU zone.
It was a rough bounce off the boards, and Hanselinho simply didn't react in time to it, and I think Potzloff even thought he was going to slide back to the left. It looked like he tried to go to the backhand to beat him on the right side, but Hanselinho was still right there on the right side. It hit off him, then hit off the post.
Space for Dominoiti here, has a couple of options. Flyer Kungen down low in front, scores! The second chance, Pawanso couldn't get it on net fully, but Dominoiti was on the doorstep. And you let HAVU keep, hang around a little bit. You let them stay in this game and keep getting opportunities. It's going to come back to haunt you again, Sin. We're tied at 1.
And once again, a missed opportunity for Linköping is amplified in a huge way. HAVU ties this game up, and you cannot leave a man there wide open on his own. I mean, it's unfortunate for Linköping. They got a bit, crossed up in their own zone, and it was just Dominoiti just sitting there on the doorstep, completely uncontested for that rebound chance, and he just kind of slips it home past Kappe, and we're tied.
The overtime hero of Game 2 starts off the scoring here in Game 3 for HAVU. Again, another crucial moment involving Hanselinho. Sin, I do wonder, maybe he expected his goaltender to play the puck while he was hugging the post. I'd love to hear his thoughts at some point about that moment there. HAVU back in on the attack. Now Sestelia does a good job of holding on to it, but the puck down low doesn't go. That sauce pass there from Eki off the mark as well. 4 minutes remaining here. Again, you talk about HAVU making the most of their opportunities. Here's Pawanso, bit of space. Dominoiti hits the side of the net. Pawanso has a few options again here. D-to-D passes to open up space. Billy Kuhn looking, finds Dominoiti around the back. Good interception there by Loimu for Linköping. Final 2.5 minutes to play as Playmaker not able to find his way through. Let's see here again. First period goes Linköping's way. Second period going HAVU's way. Big turnover here, though. Playmaker, great poke check by Villikun to shut that one down. HAVU again recover possession. Final minute, a fast final minute, of course. So they're kind of winding down the shot clock here, so to speak. They want this last opportunity. Dominoiti, the pass doesn't go. 6 seconds, no icing, of course. Pawanso nearly got a piece of that one. Eki nearly losing it to Dominoiti, holding it along the half wall, and that will kill the time. So Sin, for the third time in as many games, we go to the third period tied at 1 goal apiece. That really sums up just how close this series has been.
Yeah, really close, but I mean, the series itself not so close. HAVU with the 2-0 lead, and you're kind of feeling that they have a chance to take this one again as Linköping, I don't want to say completely unraveling here, but definitely feeling the pressure. You could see it in their game. They have a desperation about them, but it's not so much of a desperation of aggression. They're starting to force plays. They're forcing passes, and HAVU, that's just playing into their games. You know, HAVU has those layers of defense, whether it be on the forecheck in the neutral zone or at their own blue line, and even, you know, when they're defending their own end, they just seem to have layers and layers and layers. And unless you penetrate those cleanly, they will counterattack. And you can see with the shot and the time on attack differential, HAVU Gaming really starting to take control and in the driver's seat as this game wears on. And it's kind of like history's repeating itself for Linköping. Only 1 goal so far. HAVU ties it. And with the way things are going, they're going to be the ones to possibly get this next goal and have a chance to go up 3-0 in this series. If you're Linköping, you got to find something, and you got to find it quick, because, again, you can't really go down 3-0 here at all.
Third period underway here. Are we destined for overtime for the third time? Time will tell. Great job there by Pawanso, skating his way out of trouble. Dominoiti finds Pawanso, shot on, looking for the rebound for Flyer Kungen, but he's not able to hit the intended target there. So a good early chance for HAVU here. Again, you talk about it, these two teams, every once in a while they sneak in a look, a shooting chance that the other team might not expect. Pawanso, Dominoiti nearly tucks it in the near side post. Kape is able to find it and covers, so good momentum building opportunity perhaps here for HAVU. Good start to this third period.
Yeah, and they're really just methodical the way they drive the net, too. Just sometimes even they can slowly get it there, playing the possession battle and trying to sneak one of those shots in. Good face-off win.
Pawanso down low, near post again, testing Kape. Great job there by Eki. Finds Playmaker on the outlet pass. Tries to fend off the pressure there from Sestelia, but a great job from HAVU's defender. He comes up with the puck. Chance here. Flyer Kungen not able to find Dominoiti. Eki again, so strong. Perhaps underrated in his defensive abilities. One could say, especially, of course, quoted earlier, saying, oh, we just got to score more goals than the other team. Which, easier said than done right now for Linköping, of course. Outlet pass, here's Flyer Kungen, the captain. Sauces it over now. Sestelia, tested near post, dies on the line, and it's in! Dominoiti is able to tuck that one home. The luck is on the side of HAVU Gaming. They take the lead. It's 2-1.
Oh, and it's actually Kape's skate that knocks it in, but it was an excellent job throwing the puck on net, and Dominoiti getting the touch on it, not quite getting the animation. You've seen that happen quite a bit, especially with those in-tight chances. You'll actually get a spinning shot animation as it registers you sort of behind the net right there, but HAVU once again getting the gritty plays, and it's working out for them. They keep going back to it, and they keep being rewarded for it, and Linköping now down in this game, down in the series, backs against the wall. What do they have for us? Where's the fire?
Here's Playmaker off the turnover, has space. Loimu denied, rebound still alive. Fought on for Potzloff, finds Playmaker, but he's not able to get the shot through. Huge moment in response. Here's Pawanso, though. for HAVU. Bit of speed, gets it over, doesn't find its way on target. So for the first time in this series, we have more than 2 goals combined scored in regulation. HAVU coming back from 1-0 down at the end of the first period to snag this 2-1 lead. Of course, they have a 2-0 series lead already here in the final. We're halfway through this third period. The pressure on the defending champions in Linköping now. They're over the line. Potzloff tries to find Eki, still fighting for it. And again, Billy Kuhn, a great job. The HAVU defense has been so strong. Sauce pass there for Pawanso. Doesn't go, but he'll try to race it down. Chance here. Jay Toro able to hold on to it. Talk about strong defense. Despite goals against, all 4 defenders, as I've mentioned, have played spectacular hockey today. As Billy Kuhn hands that one off again. Pawanso takes the huge hit. See if Linköping can take advantage of the man down. Sauce pass from Eki doesn't go, but he recovers at the line. Finds Loimu, gets it to the forehand. Shot, glove, save, Hanselinho. Loimu nearly picked that corner. And again, Sin, you can't help but think back to that crazy chance for Potzloff. It's been all HAVU in terms of the luck, perhaps, since that moment. The chance here, though, Pawanso, burst of speed yet again, tries to pull it across, can't go. Under 5 minutes remaining now in regulation. Eki with the speed. Can he find a way through? Shot on, hit the side of the net. Eki interception. Playmaker can't tuck it home. Potzloff back in front. Eki to the point. Another shot blocked. Good chances for Linköping. Just not finding their way through just when it looks like. Eki is a great example there as they draw out the icing. Just when it looks like they're going to get a chance, it just doesn't happen to go their way, or HAVU is able to catch up and recover.
Yeah, and it's real unfortunate for them, especially now playing behind again. We can see the desperation coming out.
Face off one. Loose puck kicked out into the corner. Assistelia able to send that one down. Jay Toro will have to chase it. You see Pawanso going to make sure that another icing call does not happen. Under 2.5 to go here in the third period of Game 3. The defending champions in danger of going down 3-0 as the puck around the back of the HAVU goal. Playmaker's there, but he can't come up with it. Great job by Billy Kuhn. Sin, final minute. This is it. Dominoiti for Pawanso. Paddled aside by Kape. Chance again here. Flyer Kungan in the corner. Pawanso has it. Trying to fend off the pressure. He does. Near side test. Flyer Kungan has it. Dominoiti now looking. Just happy to kill the time. Flyer Kungan down low. One back by Eki. Final 40 seconds now. Jay Toro stepping into the lanes. Can't hold on to it. Great job on defense by HAVU. Jay Toro still fighting for it. Billy Kuhn comes up with it now. 28 seconds to play. Flyer Kungan and Dominoiti 2-on-1. Dominoiti denied by Kape. Short side. Flyer Kungan can't get the shot on. Kicked out to the right of Kape. 15 seconds to play. Big stretch pass. They're forced to drop it back. Here's Loimu in the zone. Draws the trip there from Dominoiti. Linköping to the power play with 10 seconds remaining here in regulation, down by a goal.
Biggest face-off of the series. This has to be their best set play, but they have to get a face-off win. If HAVU clears it, this one is pretty much over. They're going to drop back. They're going to commit all 4 guys to the line. If they're able to get the clear, you have to win this draw. Potzloff, you need to be a hero for your team right now.
Huge moment for Flyer Kungan stepping in on the dot. Tie up here. One Jay Toro shot blocked. Billy Kuhn chops it out. HAVU Gaming are going to take a commanding 3-0 series lead off the back of a 2-1 victory here in Game 3. It's been their goal all season long to get revenge for last year's collapse. And heading into tomorrow's action, they need one win to reclaim their spot on top of the mountain. Sin, what a crazy turn of events we have seen here in this broadcast.
I mean, absolutely. I am shocked by this. It doesn't seem conceivably possible that this should have gone down like this today, but it is what it is. HAVU has a 3-0 lead over Linköping, and kind of, you know, in similarity in a lot with that H-Red series where they got the wins in overtime, even though they were outplayed for a majority of the game. That was Game 2. And, you know, Hanselinho really stole it from it. Just seems like at this moment, everything is going right for HAVU, and there's not a whole lot going right for Linköping. And now the series is completely reflective of that. 3-0 in Linköping are just absolutely reeling. Like, they got to be doing some soul searching, questioning what is happening right now. We're getting chances, we can't score, and then everything seems to be going against us when it comes to the bounces on the other end.
I mean, HAVU, simply put, making the most of the opportunities that are in front of them, as surprising as that is. Now, Sin, of course, I want to be able to plug stuff heading into tomorrow before we continue on with a little bit more of the recap. So again, a friendly reminder here, HAVU up 3-0 now in the ECL Elite Division Final. Games 4 up to potentially 7 will be covered tomorrow, as you can see on screen, 20 CEST. That is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for those of you, of course, here in North America. So very intriguing, of course, to see how this one is going to play out. Of course, HAVU Gaming winning the ECL Season 8 title under a different banner, written in the stars at the time. And of course, Linköping, a phenomenal comeback from 3-1 down last season in the final against this very team, and they came back to win it all. But now, Sin, I mean, you're talking about, Linköping, you come back from 3-1 down, now you have to come back and reverse sweep HAVU. You talk about written in the stars. It seems written in the stars. It seems like destiny that HAVU is going to be able... You
stole my pun.
I knew you were going to go for it, so I had to beat you to it. It seems as though they are destined to reclaim their spot back on top of the mountain. We talked about it all season long. These two teams damn well determined to get back here. Yippee Voskala had something to say about that. Farjestad, H-Reds, and all the other playoff teams. But we get this rematch. And for HAVU, you've had to wait for this moment to get that redemption for last year. And now you're just one win away.
So close, but I don't think at this point they're gonna celebrate too early. I mean, they were up 3-1 last year. I think it's just gonna be. We saw at the tail end there on the cam. They didn't look too excited. They didn't look too happy. They know how quickly things can turn. Linköping gets 1 win, then they get 2 wins, and all of a sudden you're starting to feel that pressure here. So they're gonna want to try to close it out as early as possible tomorrow. But it's gonna be a tough task. I mean, Linköping with their backs against the wall. I mean, it's deadly, but again, they didn't want to be in that position, yet here they are. The lion has been tamed, and it's going to be tough for them to sort of, crawl back in this series, but you just got to take it one game at a time. You got to feel like the luck should turn, but at the same time, Hanselinho has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, he is ridiculously on his game, and Linköping just unable to score their quote-unquote normal goals that they usually get.
Absolutely. I mean, again, call it lucky bounces or whatnot, but oftentimes when you have two teams that are so evenly matched, eventually something has to prove to be the difference maker. And oftentimes throughout NHL 20, that's what it's going to come down to, is who gets the breaks, who gets the bounces, and who makes the most of it. So again, 3-0 now, the series lead for HAVU. These two teams battling for the largest prize pool in competitive 6's esports history here in the NHL landscape, and HAVU 1 win away from walking home with a 15K euro prize pool. They need 1 win tomorrow, again Saturday, that's 20 CEST, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, a friendly reminder of the after party at the conclusion of that series, as well as we present the Elite Final after party. Will be traded to a special 1 hour back-to-back set by Luxonia, featuring artist Nikki B and Sam Light. That will be right here on this very channel, again in the immediate aftermath. So hang out as well in the aftermath of that. Of course, big things happening here amongst the NHL Gamer banner. Of course, NHLGamer.com for all the information that you need. Of course, you can find us on all the socials as well at NHL Gamer, and of course on YouTube as well. Sin, what a way to start the ECL Elite Division playoffs. Of course, we do thank our sponsors in IS Esports and Prisma Gaming for making this happen, because it's living up to the hype so far. And because it's Linköping, we've called them mentality monsters. They're going to put that to the test tomorrow. This series isn't over until it's over.
Yeah, absolutely not. And, well, we will indeed see if lightning can strike twice. But again, HAVU, their mentality's got to be, we put them to bed, because they've played great so far. They've allowed Linköping not to score. You don't want to give them any momentum, 0 breaths of life. You have to, smell blood. You have to have that killer instinct. And I think we've been seeing that a lot more from them this season. And I think we're going to see that come tomorrow. So Linköping's going to have to bring their A game to every game, every play, every shift, every single period. And there can be no off switch. This is it.
Absolutely. So with that, we will wind things down here for this broadcast. Of course, we thank you very much for joining us and supporting the NHL Gamer brand. And of course, as I mentioned, NHLGamer.com, all the information you need, of course, is on that particular site. We will be back tomorrow. Again, 20 CEST games 4 up to potentially 7. HAVU just 1 win away from getting the job done and returning to their spot atop the mountaintop. Now, of course, you can find Sin as well on Twitter at Sin for the Win Prod, YouTube and Twitch at Sin for the Win Productions if you want to see more of him, which of course you do. If for some reason you want to see more of me, I don't know why you'd want to, you can find me everywhere at Tookie24, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and of course right here on Twitch. Sin, is it tomorrow yet?
I wish we could just do all the games right now because I'm still hyped up. I'm still in the mood, but alas, we must wait for tomorrow for the conclusion of this series.
Absolutely. So with that, again, a big thank you to everyone behind the scenes, our broadcast partners, and Drew Goldfarb, and of course our friend F5 Penguin. You'll be seeing those two on the pregame tomorrow. A big shout out as well to everybody behind the scenes. Justin, Victor, we love you. We'll see you all tomorrow for the conclusion of the ECL Elite Division Season 10. HAVU just 1 win away.